Welcome to our exploration of Stone Age minds in a synthetic world. In this opening scene, we'll introduce the core idea that will guide us throughout this journey: evolutionary mismatch. Human psychology, shaped over hundreds of thousands of years, was designed for a world very different from the one we inhabit today. Our ancestors lived in small, close-knit groups, facing daily challenges of survival, scarcity, and direct social interaction. Today, however, we find ourselves surrounded by technology, abstract systems, and a pace of life that is almost unrecognizable compared to our evolutionary past. This fundamental disconnect sets the stage for many of the challenges we face in modern society. Step back in time and imagine the daily life of our Stone Age ancestors. They lived in small groups, often made up of extended family and close friends. Resources were scarce, and every day was a struggle to find food, water, and shelter. Social interactions were face-to-face, and every action had immediate, visible consequences. Trust and cooperation were essential for survival, and everyone knew each other personally. This environment shaped the way our brains developed, wiring us for direct communication, empathy, and quick responses to threats. These instincts were crucial for navigating a world filled with uncertainty and danger. Fast forward to today, and the world looks radically different. We now live in sprawling cities surrounded by strangers and artificial environments. Our daily lives are filled with abstract concepts like money, digital communication, and complex social networks. Scarcity has been replaced by abundance in many areas, but the pace of life is faster than ever. Interactions are often anonymous, and the consequences of our actions are not always immediate or visible. This synthetic world presents new challenges that our Stone Age minds were never designed to handle, creating a gap between our instincts and our environment. The concept of evolutionary mismatch helps us understand why we sometimes struggle in modern life. Our brains are not outdated or broken, they are simply adapted to a different set of circumstances. Evolutionary mismatch occurs when the environment changes faster than our biology can keep up. The instincts and behaviors that once helped us survive can become obstacles in a world that operates by different rules. Recognizing this mismatch is the first step toward understanding many of the psychological challenges we face today, from stress and anxiety to impulsive decision-making. It's important to clarify that our brains are not simply outdated relics of the past. Instead, they are misplaced, optimized for a world that no longer exists. The problem isn't that we're weak or ignorant, but that our environment has changed at a pace far beyond what evolution can match. This creates a situation where our natural instincts, once perfectly suited for survival, can sometimes lead us astray in the modern world. By understanding this, we can begin to approach our challenges with greater empathy and insight. One of the most striking differences between the past and present is the shift from scarcity to abundance. Our ancestors had to constantly search for food and resources, making them highly sensitive to opportunities and threats. Today, many of us live in environments where food and information are abundant, but our brains still react as if scarcity is the norm. This can lead to overconsumption, anxiety, and difficulty managing impulses. Understanding this shift helps explain why modern temptations can be so hard to resist. The Stone Age, all social interactions were face-to-face. Body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions played a crucial role in communication. Today, much of our interaction happens through screens, emails, texts, and social media. This shift can lead to misunderstandings and a sense of isolation as our brains struggle to interpret digital cues. The loss of direct feedback and personal connection can make it harder to build trust and empathy in our relationship. Ancestors experienced immediate and visible consequences for their actions. If they made a mistake, the results were clear and often life-threatening. In modern society, many outcomes are abstract or delayed. For example, the impact of our spending habits or online behavior may not be felt right away. This disconnect makes it harder for our brains to learn from experience and adjust our behavior accordingly, leading to impulsive decisions and difficulty planning for the future. The pace of change in modern society is unprecedented. New technologies, social norms, and economic systems emerge rapidly, often outpacing our ability to adapt. Our brains, designed for gradual change over generations, can struggle to keep up with this constant flux. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm, stress, and a sense of being out of sync with the world around us. Recognizing the speed of change helps us understand why adaptation can be so challenging. In the past, everyone in a group knew each other personally. Reputation and trust were built through repeated interactions. Today, we often interact with strangers, whether online or in large cities. This anonymity can make it easier to act selfishly or irresponsibly, as the social consequences are less immediate. Our brains, wired for small group dynamics, may struggle to navigate the complexities of anonymous society, leading to challenges in cooperation and accountability. Our instincts were honed for survival in a very different world. Hunger, fear, and social bonding all played vital roles in keeping our ancestors alive. In the modern world, these same instincts can sometimes lead us astray. For example, cravings for high-calorie foods made sense in a world of scarcity but can contribute to health problems today. Understanding the role of instincts helps us see why certain behaviors are so persistent, even when they no longer serve our best interests. Modern marketing is a powerful force that thrives on evolutionary mismatch. Advertisers and companies have become experts at exploiting our ancient instincts, using colors, sounds, and messages that trigger deep-seated desires. Whether it's fast food, social media, or shopping, marketing taps into the same drives that once helped us survive. By understanding how marketing works, we can become more aware of the ways our instincts are being manipulated in the modern world. Survival instincts like fear and caution were essential in the Stone Age, helping our ancestors avoid danger. Today, these same instincts can manifest as anxiety or excessive worry, especially in environments that are safe but unpredictable. Our brains are constantly scanning for threats, even when none exist, leading to stress and mental fatigue. Recognizing the roots of these feelings can help us manage them more effectively. Empathy and strong social bonds were crucial for survival in small groups. Our brains are wired to connect with others, share emotions, and cooperate. In the modern world, these instincts can be both a strength and a challenge. While they help us build relationships, they can also make us vulnerable to social pressure and manipulation. Understanding the origins of empathy can help us use it wisely in today's complex social landscape. Storytelling has always been a powerful tool for sharing knowledge and building community. Our ancestors used stories to teach, warn, and inspire. Today, stories are still central to how we communicate, whether through movies, books, or social media. Marketers and influencers use storytelling to capture our attention and shape our beliefs. By recognizing the power of stories, we can become more critical consumers of information. Modern society demands a high level of abstract thinking, dealing with concepts like money, laws, and digital identities. While our brains are capable of abstract thought, they are still rooted in concrete experiences. This can make it difficult to fully grasp complex systems or long-term consequences. Recognizing the limits of our abstract thinking can help us design better systems and make more informed decisions. Brains are naturally attracted to novelty, new sights, sounds, and experiences. In the past, this helped us discover resources and avoid danger. Today, the constant stream of new information and entertainment can be overwhelming. Social media, news, and advertising all compete for our attention, making it hard to focus and find satisfaction. Understanding our attraction to novelty can help us manage distractions and prioritize what truly matters. The Stone Age, immediate rewards were rare and valuable. Our brains evolved to seize opportunities when they arose. In modern life, however, many rewards are delayed, saving money, building relationships, or pursuing long-term goals. This can make it difficult to resist short-term temptations and stay focused on what's truly important. Recognizing this challenge can help us develop strategies for better self-control. Social comparison was once limited to a small group of peers. Today, social media exposes us to the lives of thousands, if not millions, of people. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, envy, and dissatisfaction. Our brains are not equipped to process so much information about others, making it easy to lose perspective. Being aware of this tendency can help us maintain a healthier self-image. Distraction allows us to create complex systems, but it also distances us from the real-world consequences of our actions. For example, spending money with a credit card feels different than handing over cash. This psychological distance can lead to overspending, risk-taking, and a lack of accountability. Understanding the impact of abstraction can help us design systems that encourage more responsible behavior. Community was the foundation of survival in the Stone Age. Today, many people feel isolated despite being more connected than ever. The quality of our relationships matters more than the quantity. Building strong, supportive communities can help us meet our social needs and navigate the challenges of modern life. By fostering real connections, we can bridge the gap between our evolutionary past and present reality. Our ancestors faced acute, short-term stress, like escaping predators or finding food. Today, stress is often chronic and related to work, finances, or social pressures. Our bodies and minds are not well equipped to handle this kind of ongoing stress, leading to health problems and burnout. Recognizing the difference between ancient and modern stress can help us develop healthier coping strategies. Small groups, individuals had a clear sense of control over their environment and outcomes. Modern life, with its complexity and unpredictability, can create an illusion of control or conversely a sense of helplessness. Our brains crave predictability, but the synthetic world often defies our expectations. Recognizing this can help us manage our reactions and focus on what we can truly influence. Status and reputation were crucial in small groups, determining access to resources and mates. In modern society, status is often measured by wealth, appearance, or online popularity. This drive can lead to unhealthy competition and dissatisfaction. Understanding the evolutionary roots of status seeking can help us find healthier ways to define success and self-worth. Cooperation was essential for survival in the Stone Age. Today, cooperation is often required on a much larger scale, involving people we may never meet. Our brains are still wired for small group dynamics, making large-scale cooperation challenging. By understanding these limitations, we can design better systems and incentives to encourage collaboration in modern society. Rituals helped our ancestors create meaning, build bonds, and mark important events. In the modern world, rituals still play a role, from holidays to daily routines. They provide structure and a sense of belonging, helping us navigate the complexities of modern life. By embracing meaningful rituals, we can strengthen our connections and find stability in a fast-changing world. Our brains are wired to seek shortcuts, quick solutions to problems. In the past, this helped conserve energy and avoid danger. Today, shortcuts can lead to poor decisions, such as falling for scams or relying on unreliable information. Recognizing our tendency to seek shortcuts can help us slow down and make more thoughtful choices. Play was essential for learning and social bonding in the Stone Age. It helped children develop skills and adults relieve stress. In modern life, play is often undervalued, but it remains crucial for creativity, problem-solving, and well-being. By making time for play, we can tap into our natural instincts and improve our quality of life. Willpower is a limited resource shaped by our evolutionary past. Our ancestors relied on habits and routines to conserve mental energy. In the modern world, constant decision-making can deplete willpower, making it harder to resist temptations. By understanding the limits of willpower, we can design environments that support better choices and reduce reliance on self-control alone. Purpose gave our ancestors a reason to persist through hardship. In modern society, finding purpose can be more challenging as traditional roles and goals have changed. A sense of purpose remains essential for motivation and well-being. By exploring our values and passions, we can create meaningful lives even in a synthetic world. Our brains evolved to process limited amounts of information. Today, we are bombarded with news, notifications, and choices. This overload can lead to decision fatigue and difficulty focusing. By setting boundaries and prioritizing information, we can protect our mental energy and make better decisions. Cognitive biases helped our ancestors make quick decisions in uncertain environments. In the modern world, these biases can lead to errors in judgment and reinforce stereotypes. By becoming aware of our biases, we can make more rational decisions and foster greater understanding in diverse societies. Reflection allows us to learn from experience and adapt our behavior. Our ancestors reflected on their actions to improve survival. In today's fast-paced world, taking time to reflect is more important than ever. By making reflection a habit, we can gain insight, make better choices, and grow as individuals. Environment shapes behavior. Our ancestors adapted to their surroundings, developing skills and habits suited to their environment. In the modern world, we can design environments that support healthy choices and well-being. By understanding the power of environment, we can create spaces that help us thrive. While we like to think of ourselves as rational beings, our decisions are often influenced by emotions and instincts. Rationality is limited by the way our brains evolved, prioritizing quick, intuitive responses over careful analysis. Recognizing these limits can help us make more balanced decisions and avoid common pitfalls. Habits are powerful tools for managing daily life. Our ancestors relied on habits to conserve energy and reduce decision-making. In the modern world, building positive habits can help us navigate complexity and achieve our goals. By understanding how habits form, we can create routines that support our well-being. Technology has transformed every aspect of our lives, from communication to work to entertainment. While it offers many benefits, it can also amplify the challenges of evolutionary mismatch. By using technology mindfully, we can harness its power without falling victim to its pitfalls. Rest and recovery were built into the rhythms of Stone Age life. Today, constant stimulation and demands can make it hard to rest. Prioritizing sleep and downtime is essential for mental and physical health. By honoring our need for rest, we can recharge and perform at our best. Change was slow and gradual in the Stone Age. Today, change is rapid and constant. Our brains are not naturally equipped to handle such fast transitions, leading to resistance and discomfort. By embracing change as a part of life, we can become more adaptable and resilient. Work was directly tied to survival in the Stone Age. Today, work can feel disconnected from real-world outcomes. Finding meaning in our work is essential for motivation and satisfaction. By aligning our work with our values and strengths, we can create a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Curiosity drove our ancestors to explore, learn, and innovate. In the modern world, curiosity remains a powerful force for growth and discovery. By nurturing our curiosity, we can continue to learn and adapt, even in a rapidly changing environment. Our brains are not designed for multitasking. In the Stone Age, focus was essential for survival. Today, constant distractions can reduce productivity and increase stress. By focusing on one task at a time, we can improve our performance and well-being. Gratitude helped our ancestors appreciate what they had and build strong social bonds. In modern life, practicing gratitude can improve mental health and relationships. By focusing on what we are thankful for, we can counteract negativity and foster a positive outlook. Bridging the gap between our Stone Age minds and the synthetic world requires awareness, adaptation, and compassion. By understanding the roots of our instincts and behaviors, we can design environments, habits, and systems that support our well-being. This journey is about more than survival. It's about thriving in a world that is both new and deeply familiar. As we conclude, remember that our brains are not broken. They are masterpieces of adaptation, shaped by countless generations. The challenge of evolutionary mismatch is real, but so is our capacity for insight and change. By learning from our past and embracing the possibilities of the present, we can create a future where our Stone Age minds not only survive but truly thrive in a synthetic world. Prehistoric societies, daily life revolved around small, close-knit groups. People knew each other intimately. There were no strangers to impress or persuade. Survival depended on cooperation, mutual trust, and shared reputation. If someone made a claim or offered advice, their history and intentions were well known to everyone. There was no need for flashy signals or exaggerated promises. Communication was direct, honest, and rooted in real relationships. This environment made the idea of advertising, trying to influence anonymous others, completely unnecessary and even unimaginable. Trust was the currency of influence in early human groups. When someone recommended a tool or shared a warning, their words carried weight because of their established reputation. If a person was caught lying or exaggerating, the consequences were immediate and personal. Their standing in the group would suffer and future influence would be lost. This natural safeguard meant that persuasion was always tied to accountability. There was no room for anonymous manipulation or mass persuasion. Every message was anchored in real, ongoing relationships. Without large anonymous audiences, there was no need for mass signaling. People didn't have to compete for attention or try to stand out with exaggerated claims. Instead, communication was about clarity, cooperation, and shared understanding. The group's survival depended on accurate information, not on who could shout the loudest. This absence of competition for attention meant that the psychological tools of advertising, like catchy slogans or emotional appeals, simply didn't exist. As human societies grew and people began to encounter strangers, the dynamics of communication started to change. Suddenly, there were individuals outside the immediate circle, people whose intentions and reputations were unknown. This shift created new challenges for trust and influence. While face-to-face relationships still mattered, there was now a need to signal intentions and build credibility with those who didn't know you personally. This laid the groundwork for the possibility of persuasion beyond close relationships. The rise of larger communities and trade, humans began to develop new ways of persuading others. Storytelling, reputation building, and symbolic gestures became important tools for influencing those outside the immediate group. Still, these early forms of persuasion relied heavily on personal connections and visible accountability. The idea of persuading a faceless mass audience was still foreign. Every message had a sender and a receiver who could be held responsible for their word. Fast forward to the modern era, and the landscape of persuasion has changed dramatically. Advertising now reaches millions, often with little or no personal connection between sender and receiver. Messages are crafted to appeal to broad audiences using psychological triggers and emotional appeals. The safeguards of trust, proximity, and reputation have been replaced by algorithms, branding, and mass communication. This shift has profound implications for how we experience influence and persuasion today. Modern marketing bypasses the traditional safeguards that once protected us from manipulation. Advertisers can reach us without building relationships or earning our trust. They use data, psychology, and technology to craft messages that grab our attention and influence our decisions. This new form of persuasion is powerful, but it also raises important ethical questions. Without accountability or personal connection, how do we know whom to trust? How do we protect ourselves from manipulation? One of the most striking features of modern advertising is its anonymity. We are influenced by people and organizations we've never met, often without even realizing it. The messages we see are carefully designed to appeal to our desires and fears, but the source is often hidden behind layers of branding and marketing. This anonymity makes it difficult to hold anyone accountable for misleading or manipulative messages, and it changes the way we experience trust and influence. The scale of modern persuasion is unprecedented. Billions of people are exposed to the same messages, often at the same time. This mass reach amplifies the impact of advertising, making it possible to shape opinions, behaviors, and even cultures on a global scale. But with this power comes responsibility and risk. The psychological effects of mass persuasion are still being understood, but it's clear that the sheer scale changes the ethical landscape in profound ways. As advertising grows in scale and sophistication, the ethical questions become more urgent. Is it right to influence people without their knowledge or consent? What responsibilities do advertisers have to their audiences? How can we ensure that persuasion is used for good rather than manipulation or exploitation? These questions are at the heart of the debate over modern marketing, and they challenge us to think carefully about the role of advertising in our lives. Psychological impact of advertising is profound. We are constantly bombarded with messages designed to shape our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Over time, this can lead to changes in how we see ourselves and the world around us. Some people become more skeptical, while others may feel overwhelmed or manipulated. Understanding these effects is crucial for navigating the modern media landscape and protecting our mental well-being. The world of mass advertising, accountability often gets lost. When messages are delivered to millions of anonymous viewers, it's hard to trace responsibility for their content or impact. This lack of accountability can lead to abuses, misleading claims, manipulative tactics, and even outright deception. In contrast, in small groups, every message could be traced back to its source, and the sender was held responsible for its truthfulness. Technology has supercharged the reach and effectiveness of advertising. With the rise of the internet, social media, and mobile devices, advertisers can now target individuals with unprecedented precision. Algorithms analyze our behavior, preferences, and even emotions to deliver personalized messages. While this can make advertising more relevant, it also raises concerns about privacy, manipulation, and the erosion of personal autonomy. Shift from small communities to mass audiences has transformed the nature of persuasion. In the past, influence was a two-way street. Messages flowed back and forth, shaped by feedback and mutual understanding. Today, advertising is often a one-way broadcast, with little opportunity for dialogue or correction. This change makes it easier for misinformation and manipulation to spread unchecked. Storytelling has always been a powerful tool for persuasion, but its role has changed in the age of advertising. In small groups, stories were shared to teach, inspire, or warn. Today, stories are crafted to sell products, shape opinions, and build brands. The emotional power of storytelling is harnessed to influence us on a massive scale, often without our conscious awareness. There's a fine line between influence and manipulation. In close-knit groups, influence was based on trust and mutual benefit. Manipulation was rare because the risks of being caught and losing reputation were high. In the world of mass advertising, however, manipulation can be hidden behind clever messaging and psychological tricks. Recognizing the difference is key to protecting ourselves from unwanted influence. One of the most significant changes brought by advertising is the loss of relationship between sender and receiver. In the past, every message was part of an ongoing relationship, shaped by history and mutual understanding. Today, most advertising is impersonal, delivered by strangers or faceless organizations. This loss of relationship makes it harder to judge the motive behind the message and to hold anyone accountable for its effects. In the modern world, attention has become a valuable commodity. Advertisers compete fiercely for our limited focus, using every tool at their disposal to capture and hold our gaze. This competition can lead to increasingly aggressive tactics, from sensational headlines to addictive apps. The result is a constant battle for our attention, with significant consequences for our mental health and well-being. As advertising becomes more pervasive and sophisticated, trust in media and messaging has eroded. People are increasingly skeptical of the messages they receive, questioning the motives and credibility of advertisers. This erosion of trust can have far-reaching effects, making it harder for genuine information to be believed and for meaningful connections to be formed. Branding has become a central strategy in modern advertising. Companies invest heavily in creating recognizable identities, symbols, and stories that resonate with audiences. While branding can help build trust and loyalty, it can also be used to mask the true nature of products or organizations. The focus shifts from genuine relationship to image management, further distancing advertisers from their audiences. Modern advertising allows for persuasion without accountability. Messages can be broadcast to millions without any direct feedback or consequences for the sender. This lack of accountability makes it easier for misleading or harmful messages to spread, and harder for audiences to protect themselves. In contrast, traditional forms of influence were always tied to personal responsibility and the risk of losing trust. Advertisers use a deep understanding of psychology to craft messages that influence our thoughts and behaviors. Techniques like social proof, scarcity, and emotional appeals are used to bypass our rational defenses and trigger automatic responses. While these techniques can be effective, they also raise questions about autonomy and free will. Are we really making our own choices, or are we being subtly manipulated? Being constantly exposed to persuasive messages comes at a cost. Our attention is fragmented, our skepticism is heightened, and our ability to form genuine connections is diminished. Over time, this can lead to fatigue, cynicism, and even a sense of alienation. Recognizing these costs is the first step toward reclaiming our autonomy and making more conscious choices about the messages we engage with. Algorithms play a major role in shaping the advertising we see. By analyzing our behavior and preferences, they deliver personalized messages designed to maximize engagement and influence. While this can make advertising more relevant, it also raises concerns about privacy, manipulation, and the creation of filter bubbles that limit our exposure to diverse perspectives. Rise of advertising challenges our sense of autonomy. When messages are tailored to our individual preferences and vulnerabilities, it becomes harder to distinguish our own desires from those shaped by external influence. Protecting our autonomy requires awareness, critical thinking, and a willingness to question the motives behind the messages we receive. Advertising can be a powerful tool for spreading misinformation. When messages are designed to persuade rather than inform, the line between truth and falsehood can become blurred. This is especially dangerous in the age of social media, where false or misleading messages can spread rapidly and widely, shaping public opinion and behavior in harmful ways. Regulating advertising in the digital age is a complex challenge. Traditional rules and safeguards are often inadequate for the fast-paced, global nature of modern marketing. New approaches are needed to ensure transparency, accountability, and protection for consumers. This includes not only legal regulations, but also ethical standards and public awareness. Media literacy is more important than ever in the age of advertising. Being able to recognize persuasive techniques, question motives, and evaluate sources is essential for navigating the modern media landscape. Media literacy empowers us to make informed choices and to resist manipulation, helping us reclaim control over our attention and decisions. In a world saturated with advertising, authenticity stands out. Genuine messages delivered by real people with real intentions are more likely to build trust and lasting influence. As audiences become more skeptical, the value of authenticity increases. Advertisers who prioritize honesty and transparency are better positioned to earn the trust and loyalty of their audiences. Claiming influence means taking back control over the messages we receive and the choices we make. This involves being selective about the media we consume, questioning the motives behind persuasive messages, and seeking out sources that prioritize trust and accountability. By doing so, we can protect ourselves from unwanted influence and make more conscious, informed decisions. Community remains a powerful force for shaping influence and building trust. In small groups, relationships and reputations still matter, providing a natural safeguard against manipulation. By strengthening our connections with others and prioritizing genuine relationships, we can create environments where influence is based on trust, accountability, and mutual benefit. Despite its power, advertising has its limits. People are not passive recipients of messages. They interpret, question, and resist persuasion in various ways. Cultural values, personal experiences, and critical thinking all play a role in shaping how we respond to advertising. Recognizing these limits helps us maintain our autonomy and resist unwanted influence. As technology continues to evolve, the future of persuasion will bring new challenges and opportunities. Advances in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and data analytics will make advertising even more personalized and immersive. At the same time, new tools and strategies will emerge to help us protect our autonomy and make more informed choices. The key will be balancing innovation with ethics and accountability. Building resilience to advertising means developing the skills and habits needed to resist unwanted influence. This includes practicing media literacy, setting boundaries around media consumption, and cultivating self-awareness. By building resilience, we can protect our mental health, maintain our autonomy, and make choices that align with our values. In the end, trust remains the foundation of meaningful influence. Whether in small groups or large societies, trust is built through honesty, accountability, and genuine connection. As we navigate the challenges of modern advertising, returning to these core values can help us build healthier, more resilient relationships with the messages we encounter. At its core, persuasion is a human process. Technology and advertising may change the tools and techniques, but the fundamental need for trust, connection, and understanding remains. By focusing on the human element, we can create a media environment that supports healthy influence and resists manipulation. Looking back at prehistoric societies, we see the importance of trust, reputation, and accountability in shaping influence. These lessons remain relevant today, reminding us that genuine persuasion is built on relationships, not anonymous broadcasts. By applying these principles, we can navigate the modern world of advertising with greater awareness and resilience. As advertising continues to evolve, there is a growing call for greater accountability. Audiences, regulators, and even advertisers themselves are recognizing the need for transparency, honesty, and responsibility. By demanding accountability, we can help ensure that persuasion serves the public good rather than private interests. Ethics must play a central role in the future of advertising. This means not only following the law but also considering the impact of messages on individuals and society. Ethical advertising respects autonomy, promotes honesty, and seeks to build trust rather than exploit vulnerabilities. By prioritizing ethics, advertisers can help create a healthier media environment for everyone. Ultimately, we have the power to choose which messages we engage with and which we ignore. By exercising this power thoughtfully, we can shape our own media environments and protect ourselves from unwanted influence. The more aware we are of the techniques and motives behind advertising, the better equipped we are to make choices that reflect our true values and priorities. A new approach to influence is emerging, one that values transparency, accountability, and genuine connection. By embracing these principles, advertisers and audiences alike can create a healthier, more ethical media landscape. This approach recognizes the limits of persuasion and the importance of respecting autonomy and trust. Despite all the changes brought by technology and advertising, the human need for connection endures. Genuine relationships built on trust and understanding remain the foundation of meaningful influence. By prioritizing connection over manipulation, we can create a world where persuasion serves to inform, inspire, and empower, rather than exploit. We've explored the journey from prehistoric communication to the age of mass advertising, examining how the scale and nature of persuasion have changed. While advertising offers new opportunities for influence, it also brings new risks and ethical challenges. By understanding these changes, we can make more informed choices and advocate for a healthier, more accountable media environment. As we look to the future, the challenge is to balance the power of persuasion with the need for trust, accountability, and autonomy. By learning from the past and embracing ethical principles, we can shape a media landscape that respects our humanity and supports our well-being. The story of advertising is still being written, and we all have a role to play in its next chapter. Humans have always been tribal by nature. Our ancestors depended on close-knit groups for survival, not just for emotional comfort. Belonging to a tribe meant safety, access to resources, and a sense of identity. This deep-rooted need for connection still shapes our behaviors today, even if our modern world looks very different. As we begin this exploration, consider how the urge to belong influences your daily choices, from the people you trust to the brands you support. This instinct is powerful, and it's the foundation for everything we'll discuss in this video. For early humans, being part of a group wasn't just about feeling good, it was about staying alive. Isolation could mean danger, while being surrounded by others offered protection and support. This survival mechanism is hardwired into our brains, making us seek out groups and communities even today. As society evolved, the forms of these groups changed, but the fundamental need remained. Whether it's a family, a sports team, or a brand community, the drive to belong is ever present, shaping our decisions and loyalties. Despite living in a hyper-connected world, many people today feel more isolated than ever. Traditional communities have weakened, and digital interactions often lack the depth of real-life connections. This loneliness creates a vacuum, a longing for genuine belonging. Brands have noticed this gap and are quick to step in, offering not just products but a sense of community. They promise connection, shared values, and a place to fit in, filling the void left by fading traditional tribes. Today, brands don't just sell products, they sell belonging. They position themselves as modern tribes, inviting consumers to join a community built around shared values and lifestyles. From sportswear to tech gadgets, brands create a sense of identity that goes far beyond the product itself. When you wear a certain logo or use a specific device, you're signaling your membership in a tribe. This sense of belonging can be incredibly powerful, shaping how we see ourselves and how others see us. One of the ways brands build tribes is by promoting shared values. Whether it's environmental responsibility, innovation, or adventure, brands align themselves with causes and beliefs that resonate with their audience. This alignment creates a sense of unity among consumers who feel they're part of something bigger than themselves. When you buy from a brand that shares your values, it feels like joining a movement, not just making a purchase. Tribes often have their own language, and brands are no different. From catchy slogans to unique product names, brands create insider language that only members understand. This language fosters a sense of exclusivity and belonging. When you use these terms, you signal to others that you're part of the group. It's a subtle but powerful way to strengthen the bond between brand and consumer, making outsiders feel left out and insiders feel special. Symbols have always played a crucial role in tribal identity. In the world of brands, logos serve as modern totems, visual markers that instantly communicate belonging. Wearing a logo or displaying a brand symbol is a way of signaling your membership to others. These symbols become shorthand for shared values and group identity, making them far more than just marketing tools. They are badges of belonging worn with pride. Tribal societies, people wore specific items to show their status or role. Today, products serve a similar function. The shoes you wear, the phone you use, or the coffee you drink can all act as badges of identity. Brands design products not just for utility but to be seen and recognized. When you choose a product, you're often choosing the tribe you want to belong to and displaying that choice to the world. Every tribe defines itself not just by who belongs but by who doesn't. Brands often create a sense of us versus them by positioning themselves against competitors or outsiders. This can be playful, like rival sports teams, or more serious, such as ethical stances against certain practices. By defining enemies, brands strengthen the bonds among members and make belonging feel even more meaningful. Rituals are a key part of tribal life, and brands have their own versions. Whether it's lining up for a product launch, participating in brand events, or following specific routines, these rituals create shared experiences. They reinforce group identity and make membership feel special. Participating in brand rituals can turn ordinary consumers into passionate advocates, deepening their sense of belonging. Traditional tribes, totems are objects that represent the group's spirit and values. In branding, logos and mascots serve a similar purpose. They become symbols that unite members and express the brand's identity. These totems are displayed proudly, from clothing to social media profiles, acting as constant reminders of group membership. The more visible the totem, the stronger the sense of belonging. Some brands go beyond products and create entire communities. These groups gather online or in person, sharing stories, advice, and experiences. Brand communities offer a sense of family and support, making members feel valued and understood. The strongest brand communities often have their own rules, traditions, and even leaders, just like traditional tribes. Belonging to a brand tribe isn't just about what you buy, it's about who you are. Membership shapes your identity, influencing how you see yourself and how others see you. Brands encourage this by offering exclusive perks, content, or products to members. The more invested you become, the more your identity is tied to the brand, making it hard to leave the tribe. Tribes often have hierarchies, and brands replicate this with exclusive products or limited editions. Owning something rare from a brand can signal higher status within the tribe. This exclusivity makes membership feel more valuable and desirable, driving people to seek out special items or experiences that set them apart from the crowd. Once someone feels like part of a brand tribe, loyalty often follows. This loyalty isn't just about liking a product, it's about defending the tribe. Loyal members will recommend the brand, defend it against criticism, and stick with it even when competitors offer better deals. This fierce loyalty is a testament to the power of belonging. Modern marketing doesn't just sell products, it sells belonging. Advertisements show people coming together, sharing experiences, and forming connections. Brands use storytelling to create emotional bonds, making consumers feel like they're joining a family, not just buying a product. This emotional appeal is often more persuasive than any feature or benefit. Stories have always been central to tribal life, passing down values and lessons. Brands use storytelling to connect with consumers on a deeper level. Through ads, social media, and events, they share narratives that reflect the tribe's values and aspirations. These stories make the brand feel alive and relatable, turning customers into loyal members. Some brands position themselves as outsiders or rebels, attracting those who want to stand apart from the mainstream. Their symbols and messages appeal to people who value independence and nonconformity. By joining these brand tribes, consumers express their own rebellious spirit and find others who share their outlook. Brands often use the fear of missing out, FOMO, to drive belonging. Limited-time offers, exclusive events, and viral trends make people feel they need to join now or risk being left out. This urgency taps into our tribal instincts, pushing us to act quickly to secure our place in the group. With the rise of social media, brand rituals have moved online. Hashtags, challenges, and virtual events bring members together no matter where they are. These digital rituals create a sense of real-time connection and shared experience, reinforcing the tribe's identity in the digital age. Brands reward loyal members with insider perks, early access, special discounts, or members-only content. These perks make members feel valued and deepen their commitment to the tribe. The more exclusive the perks, the stronger the sense of belonging and loyalty. Some members become brand ambassadors, representing the tribe to the outside world. These individuals embody the brand's values and help recruit new members. Ambassadors often receive special recognition and rewards, further cementing their status within the tribe. Seeing others join or endorse a brand tribe makes us more likely to join ourselves. This is the power of social proof. Brands showcase testimonials, user stories, and influencer endorsements to demonstrate that their tribe is thriving. The more visible the community, the more attractive it becomes to outsiders. Brands often reward members with symbols of achievement, badges, certificates, or public recognition. These symbols reinforce status within the tribe and motivate members to stay engaged. Achievements become part of the member's identity, celebrated by the whole community. Rivalries between brands can be intense, mirroring the competition between tribes. These rivalries create drama and excitement, giving members a reason to rally together. Whether it's sports teams, tech companies, or fashion labels, rivalries make belonging feel more urgent and meaningful. Every tribe has its myths and legends, and brands are no different. Stories about founders, breakthrough moments, or legendary products become part of the tribe's lore. These stories are retold by members, strengthening the brand's identity and deepening the sense of belonging. Brand symbols are everywhere in our clothes, gadgets, and even our language. These symbols become part of our daily routines, subtly shaping how we interact with others. The more we display these symbols, the more we reinforce our membership in the tribe, both to ourselves and to those around us. Belonging to a brand tribe often comes with a cost: financial, social, or emotional. Members may pay more for products, invest time in community activities, or even change their behavior to fit in. These costs can be high, but for many, the rewards of belonging outweigh the sacrifices. Some brands create their own holidays or special events, giving members a reason to celebrate together. These rituals strengthen the sense of community and give members shared memories. Whether it's an annual sale or a global event, these moments become important milestones in the tribe's calendar. Brands often present themselves as unique tribes, but many offer similar products and experiences. The illusion of choice can make us feel like we're making an independent decision, when in reality we're choosing between tribes that are more alike than different. This illusion keeps us engaged and loyal, even as we move from one brand to another. Displaying brand symbols can signal social status just like tribal markings once did. The brands we choose communicate our tastes, values, and even our aspirations. Others judge us based on these symbols, making them powerful tools for social navigation and acceptance. While belonging can be positive, it also has a dark side. Tribalism can lead to exclusion, rivalry, and even hostility toward outsiders. Brands sometimes exploit these tendencies, encouraging members to look down on those who don't belong. It's important to recognize these dynamics and strive for inclusive communities. Many brands take a stand on social issues, aligning themselves with causes that matter to their tribe. This can strengthen loyalty and attract like-minded members, but it can also create controversy. When brands take sides, they risk alienating outsiders while deepening bonds within the tribe. Influencers act as leaders within brand tribes, guiding trends and shaping opinions. Their endorsement can legitimize a brand and attract new members. Influencers often embody the tribe's values, making them powerful symbols of belonging and aspiration. Joining a brand tribe can involve initiation rituals, first purchases, sharing on social media, or attending events. These rituals mark the transition from outsider to member, making the experience memorable and meaningful. Initiations help new members feel welcomed and invested in the tribe. Symbols are powerful because they trigger memories and emotions. Seeing a familiar logo can remind us of past experiences, friendships, or achievements within the tribe. Brands use these emotional triggers to keep members engaged and loyal over time. Technology has made it easier than ever to join and participate in brand tribes. Online forums, apps, and social media connect members across the globe. Technology amplifies the sense of belonging, allowing tribes to grow and thrive in the digital age. Belonging to a brand tribe can shape your identity in profound ways. The values, rituals, and symbols of the tribe become part of who you are. Over time, your choices and behaviors align more closely with the tribe, reinforcing your sense of self and belonging. Being part of a brand tribe influences what you buy, how you use products, and even how you talk about them. Consumer behavior is shaped by the tribe's norms and expectations. Brands know this and design experiences that encourage members to act in ways that reinforce the tribe's identity. Some brand tribes become forces for social change, mobilizing members to support causes or take action. When a brand's values align with a social movement, the tribe can become a powerful agent for good. This potential for impact makes brand tribes more than just marketing tools; they can shape society itself. While brands can offer a sense of belonging, it's important to recognize their limits. Brand tribes are not a substitute for genuine human connection. True belonging comes from real relationships, shared experiences, and mutual support, things that go beyond what any brand can offer. Belonging to a brand tribe can boost self-esteem and provide support, but it can also create pressure to conform. The desire to fit in may lead to anxiety or stress, especially if the tribe's values clash with your own. It's important to balance brand loyalty with personal well-being. Authenticity is key to lasting belonging. Brands that stay true to their values and treat members with respect build stronger, more loyal tribes. When authenticity is lacking, members may feel betrayed and leave the tribe. Genuine connection is the foundation of any successful brand community. As society changes, so will brand tribes. New technologies, shifting values, and global challenges will shape how brands create and maintain communities. The need for belonging will remain, but the ways we find it may evolve. Brands that adapt and stay relevant will continue to thrive as modern tribes. We've explored how brands tap into our tribal instincts, offering belonging through shared values, symbols, and rituals. While brand tribes can provide community and identity, it's important to remember their limits and seek genuine connections beyond marketing. As you move forward, consider how your choices reflect your need to belong and how you can find true community in a world full of brands. Welcome to our exploration of status, sex, and the oldest marketing tricks on Earth. For most of human history, status and mating success were deeply connected to real observable traits, things like competence, generosity, strength, and health. But in today's world, the rules have changed. Instead of truly being high status, people can now display status through clever signals and symbols. In this video, we'll uncover how marketing has learned to shortcut our ancient instincts and how luxury goods, beauty industries, and lifestyle branding all play into our primal mate selection heuristics. Let's dive in and see how these forces shape our choices and desires. Early human societies, status wasn't just about looking important, it was about being important. Traits like physical strength, health, and generosity were visible and meaningful. These qualities signaled to others that someone was a valuable ally or mate. If you were strong, you could protect your group. If you were generous, you could share resources. These signals were hard to fake, and they played a crucial role in mate selection and social standing. Over time, our brains evolved to pay close attention to these real indicators of value, shaping the way we judge others even today. Competence and generosity were two of the most valued traits in ancient communities. Competence meant you could solve problems, hunt, or build shelter. Generosity showed you cared about the group's well-being, not just your own. These traits made someone attractive as a mate and respected as a leader. People who displayed these qualities often had more opportunities for both social and romantic success. Our ancestors learned to look for these signals, and those instincts are still with us, even if the ways we display them have changed. Physical strength and health were clear, visible markers of status in the past. A strong, healthy individual could provide protection and resources. These traits were hard to fake, making them reliable signals for mate selection. If someone looked fit and energetic, it was a sign they could survive and thrive. These signals help people make quick decisions about who to trust, follow, or choose as a partner. Even today, we're drawn to signs of health and vitality, though the ways we display them have evolved. As societies grew more complex, the direct connection between real traits and status began to blur. Instead of only being high status, people could now display status through symbols, like clothing, jewelry, or other visible markers. These displays became shortcuts for the real qualities they once represented. Over time, the ability to signal status became almost as important as actually having the underlying traits. This shift set the stage for modern marketing to step in and exploit our ancient instincts. Symbols like expensive watches, designer clothes, and luxury cars have become modern status signals. These items are meant to catch the eye and suggest success, wealth, or taste. The key is that these symbols are visible and recognizable to others. They act as a kind of social shorthand, letting people quickly judge someone's status without needing to know their true abilities or character. This reliance on symbols has opened the door for marketing to create and sell new ways to display status. Marketing has become a master at creating and promoting status symbols. By tapping into our deep-seated desire to be seen as high status, marketers design products and campaigns that promise to elevate our social standing. Whether it's a new phone, a luxury car, or a trendy fashion item, the message is clear. Owning this product will make you more attractive, respected, or desirable. This strategy works because it leverages the same instincts that once helped our ancestors choose mates and allies. Instead of earning status through years of hard work or genuine achievement, people can now buy status symbols. This creates a shortcut, one that marketing is eager to sell. The appeal is obvious. Why spend years building a reputation when you can simply purchase the right clothes, car, or accessories? This shift has changed the way we think about status and success, making it easier to display high status even if it's not backed by real accomplishment. Branding has become a powerful tool for signaling status. Companies invest heavily in creating brands that people want to be associated with. Wearing a recognizable logo or using a popular product sends a message about who you are and what you value. Brands become part of our identity, shaping how others see us and how we see ourselves. This connection between branding and status is at the heart of modern marketing strategy. Luxury goods are especially effective at signaling status and attracting attention. Whether it's a high-end watch, a designer handbag, or a sports car, these items are designed to be noticed. They suggest wealth, taste, and exclusivity, qualities that have always been attractive in a mate. By owning and displaying luxury goods, people hope to boost their appeal and stand out in the social landscape. Marketing plays a key role in making these goods desirable and aspirational. The beauty industry has mastered the art of selling status through appearance. From skincare to cosmetics to fashion, these industries promise to enhance attractiveness and social standing. The message is clear: looking good means being valued and desired. Marketing campaigns use models and influencers to set standards of beauty, encouraging people to buy products that will help them fit in or stand out. This creates a cycle where appearance and status become tightly linked. Lifestyle branding goes beyond products. It sells an entire way of life. Brands create images of success, adventure, or sophistication, inviting people to buy into a particular lifestyle. Whether it's travel, fitness, or luxury living, these brands promise that you can become the person you want to be by choosing their products. This approach taps into our desire for status and belonging, making lifestyle branding a powerful marketing tool. Brains use shortcuts or heuristics to make quick decisions about potential mates. These heuristics evolved to help us spot valuable traits like health, strength, and generosity. But in the modern world, marketers have learned to mimic these signals with products and branding. As a result, we often judge people by their possessions or appearance, even if those signals don't reflect real qualities. This creates a disconnect between what we see and what's actually true. In the past, status signals were tied to long-term mate value, qualities like reliability, competence, and generosity. Today, short-term sexual signaling often dominates. Flashy displays, trendy fashion, and luxury goods can attract attention quickly, but they may not signal lasting value. Marketing encourages this shift by promoting products that promise instant appeal. This focus on short-term signals can change the way we approach relationships and status. Perception is everything when it comes to status. What matters most is not who you are, but how others see you. Marketing understands this and works hard to shape perceptions through advertising, branding, and social media. By controlling the narrative, marketers can make products and the people who use them seem more desirable. This power to influence perception is one of the most effective tools in the marketer's arsenal. Social media has taken status signaling to a new level. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok make it easy to display luxury goods, beauty, and lifestyle choices to a wide audience. Influencers and everyday users alike compete for attention by showcasing their best selves. This constant display of status symbols creates pressure to keep up, driving even more consumption and marketing. Social media turns personal branding into a public performance. Influencers have become modern status icons. With large followings and carefully curated images, they set trends and define what's desirable. Brands partner with influencers to promote products, knowing that their endorsement carries weight. Followers look to influencers for cues on what to wear, buy, or aspire to. This relationship between influencers and marketing further blurs the line between real status and its display. Marketing often sells the illusion of success rather than the reality. Glossy ads and influencer posts create a world where everyone seems wealthy, attractive, and happy. This illusion can be powerful, shaping our goals and desires, but it also creates unrealistic expectations and can lead to disappointment when reality doesn't match the image. Understanding this illusion is key to seeing through marketing's tricks. Chasing status through consumption can be costly. People may spend beyond their means to keep up with trends or impress others. This pursuit can lead to financial stress, anxiety, and even social isolation. Marketers know this and continue to push products that promise status regardless of the consequences. Recognizing the true cost of status signaling can help us make wiser choices. There's a growing tension between authenticity and appearance. While marketing encourages us to focus on how we look and what we own, many people crave genuine connections and real achievements. The challenge is to balance the desire for status with the need for authenticity. This struggle plays out in our choices, relationships, and even our mental health. Competition for status is a natural part of human society. Marketing amplifies this competition by constantly raising the bar for what's considered desirable. New products, trends, and technologies keep us striving for more. This endless race can be exhausting, but it also drives innovation and creativity. Understanding the role of competition can help us navigate the pressures of modern life. Scarcity and exclusivity are powerful marketing tools. Limited edition products, exclusive events, and members-only clubs create a sense of urgency and desire. People want what they can't have, and marketers use this to their advantage. By making products seem rare or hard to get, brands increase their status value. This tactic plays directly into our ancient instincts to seek out the best and most desirable option. Conspicuous consumption is the act of buying and displaying expensive items to show off wealth and status. This behavior has deep roots in human psychology. Marketing encourages conspicuous consumption by making certain products highly visible and desirable. Whether it's a flashy car or the latest gadget, the goal is to be seen and admired. This drive for recognition fuels much of modern consumer culture. Halo effect is a psychological phenomenon where one positive trait, like attractiveness or wealth, makes us assume someone has other good qualities. Marketing takes advantage of this by associating products with attractive people or successful lifestyles. When we see a celebrity using a product, we're more likely to believe it's valuable. This effect shapes our perceptions and influences our buying decisions. Social proof is the idea that we look to others to decide what's valuable or desirable. If many people are using a product or following a trend, we're more likely to join in. Marketing uses social proof by highlighting popularity, reviews, and endorsements. This creates a bandwagon effect, making products seem more appealing simply because others like them. Storytelling is a powerful way to create meaning and value. Brands use stories to connect with consumers on an emotional level, making products more memorable and desirable. Whether it's a founder's journey, a customer's transformation, or a vision of the future, stories help us relate to brands and see ourselves in their narrative. This emotional connection can make status symbols even more appealing. Aspirational marketing sells not just products but dreams. Brands show us idealized versions of life, promising that we can achieve them by buying their products. This approach taps into our hopes and ambitions, making us want to be part of an exclusive group. Aspirational marketing is especially effective in industries like fashion, beauty, and luxury goods, where status and image are everything. Marketing uses emotional triggers to influence our decisions. Feelings like envy, desire, and fear of missing out are powerful motivators. Ads are designed to make us feel that we need a product to be happy, successful, or accepted. By tapping into our emotions, marketers can drive us to buy things we might not otherwise want or need. Cycle of consumption is fueled by marketing and our desire for status. We buy new products to keep up with trends, only to find that the bar keeps moving. This creates a never-ending loop of wanting, buying, and wanting more. Marketers are experts at keeping this cycle going, introducing new products and trends to maintain demand. Status signaling doesn't just affect individuals, it shapes our relationships too. People may choose friends, partners, or even jobs based on perceived status. This can lead to shallow connections and disappointment if the signals turn out to be empty. Understanding how marketing influences our choices can help us build more meaningful relationships based on real qualities. Marketing often targets men and women differently when it comes to status signaling. Men may be encouraged to display wealth, power, or success, while women are often targeted with messages about beauty, youth, and desirability. These gendered messages reinforce stereotypes and shape the way we think about status and attraction. Recognizing these patterns can help us make more conscious choices. Data signals and marketing strategies can vary widely across cultures. What's considered high status in one society may not be valued in another. Marketers must adapt their messages to fit local values and traditions. Understanding these cultural differences can help us see how status and marketing are shaped by context, not just biology. Technology has transformed the way we signal status. From smartphones to smartwatches to social media profiles, digital tools have become new status symbols. Marketers use technology to reach consumers in more personal and targeted ways. This digital shift has made status signaling faster, more visible, and more competitive than ever before. Our need for status is deeply rooted in psychology. It's tied to our sense of self-worth, belonging, and identity. Marketing taps into these needs by offering products and experiences that promise to boost our status. Understanding the psychology behind status can help us see why we're drawn to certain brands or trends and how to resist manipulation. While status can motivate us to achieve and improve, it also has a dark side. The pressure to keep up can lead to stress, envy, and even unethical behavior. Marketing often exploits these vulnerabilities, pushing us to buy things we don't need or can't afford. Recognizing the risks can help us make healthier choices and focus on what truly matters. It's possible to resist marketing's status tricks by becoming more aware of how they work. Questioning the messages we see, focusing on real achievements, and valuing authentic connections can help us avoid the trap of endless consumption. By understanding our own motivations, we can make choices that reflect our true values, not just what marketers want us to buy. Real status comes from genuine qualities like competence, kindness, and integrity. These traits can't be bought or faked. Building real status takes time and effort, but it leads to deeper satisfaction and stronger relationships. Marketing may offer shortcuts, but true respect and admiration are earned, not purchased. Success doesn't have to mean owning the latest products or following every trend. It can mean living according to your values, building meaningful relationships, and making a positive impact. By redefining what success means to us, we can break free from the cycle of status signaling and consumption. As society changes, so do our ideas about status. New forms of achievement like creativity, sustainability, or community involvement are gaining value. Marketing will continue to evolve, finding new ways to tap into our desire for recognition. By staying aware of these shifts, we can choose which signals to follow and which to ignore. Education is one of the best tools for resisting marketing's influence. By learning how status signals work and how marketers exploit them, we can make more informed decisions. Teaching these concepts to others, especially young people, can help create a culture that values authenticity over appearance. Mindful consumption means thinking carefully about what we buy and why. Instead of chasing every trend, we can focus on what truly adds value to our lives. This approach helps us avoid the trap of endless status signaling and find satisfaction in what we already have. True belonging comes from being part of a supportive community, not just displaying status symbols. Building real connections with others can provide a sense of security and fulfillment that no product can match. Marketing may promise belonging, but it's up to us to create it in our own lives. Simplicity can be a powerful antidote to the pressures of status signaling. By focusing on what's truly important, we can find peace and satisfaction without needing to impress others. Marketing may push us to want more, but sometimes less is more. We have the power to reclaim our choices from marketing's influence. By understanding how status signals work and questioning the messages we receive, we can make decisions that reflect our true selves. This process takes effort, but it leads to greater freedom and satisfaction. In the end, the oldest marketing tricks on earth are all about status and sex. By understanding how these forces shape our desires and decisions, we can see through the illusions and make choices that truly reflect who we are. Whether it's luxury goods, beauty products, or lifestyle brands, remember that real value comes from within, not from what we display. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of status, sex, and marketing. Welcome to our exploration of how signals have evolved from vital survival cues to the luxury logos we see everywhere today. In this video, we'll uncover why our brains are still wired to react to certain symbols, even when they no longer represent real value. We'll start by looking at what signals are and why they mattered so much in our ancestral environments. Then we'll follow their transformation into the mass-produced, often hollow symbols that dominate modern marketing. By the end, you'll see how these signals shape our choices, emotions, and even our sense of self. Let's begin by understanding honest signals. In our evolutionary past, signals were costly to produce and hard to fake. Think of a peacock's tail or a hunter's physical strength. These were honest indicators of fitness or ability. Such signals helped individuals survive and attract mates because they were reliable. If you saw someone displaying a costly signal, you could trust that it reflected real underlying qualities. This reliability was crucial in environments where survival depended on accurate information about others. In small ancestral groups, honest signals played a key role in social life. Whether it was sharing food, showing bravery, or demonstrating skill, these actions sent clear messages about a person's value to the group. Because resources were limited and relationships close-knit, there was little room for deception. The group depended on accurate signals to decide who to trust, follow, or help. This environment shaped our brains to pay close attention to these cues, linking them to emotions like admiration or suspicion. Taking signals in the past came with high risks. If someone tried to pretend they were stronger or more generous than they really were, the group would quickly notice. The consequences could be severe loss of status, exclusion, or worse. This made honest signaling the safest and most effective strategy. Over time, our ancestors became experts at reading subtle cues and detecting dishonesty, skills that still influence us today. Fast forward to the modern world, and the landscape of signals has changed dramatically. Today, many signals are mass-produced and easy to acquire. Luxury logos, designer brands, and flashy advertisements are everywhere. Unlike the costly signals of the past, these are often cheap to produce and easy to fake, yet our brains still respond to them as if they were meaningful. This creates a gap between what a signal appears to represent and its actual value. Luxury logos have become some of the most recognizable signals in our society. Brands invest heavily in making their symbols stand out, associating them with wealth, status, and success. For many people, owning a product with a luxury logo feels like a shortcut to social approval. But unlike honest signals, these logos don't always reflect real ability or achievement. They can be bought, borrowed, or even counterfeited, yet they still trigger emotional responses. How do we still react so strongly to symbols of wealth and status? The answer lies in our evolutionary history. Our brains are wired to associate certain signals with real value, even when those signals have become detached from their original meaning. Seeing a luxury car or a designer bag can spark feelings of admiration, envy, or desire, even if we know these items don't guarantee real ability or success. This emotional response is a powerful tool for marketers. Signal inflation happens when the value of a signal decreases because it becomes too common or easy to obtain. In the past, only a few could display costly signals. Today, mass production allows almost anyone to buy symbols of wealth or status. As more people display these signals, their meaning becomes diluted. Marketers respond by creating new, more exclusive signals, leading to a cycle of inflation where the bar for standing out keeps rising. Modern markets, success is often measured by the ability to create powerful signals rather than real value. Companies invest in branding, packaging, and advertising to make their products appear more desirable. Sometimes the actual product changes very little, but the signal attached to it becomes stronger. This shift from value creation to signal creation is a defining feature of today's economy, shaping everything from fashion to technology. Symbols of fitness and success are everywhere, from gym memberships to luxury watches. These signals tap into our deep-rooted instincts to seek out strong, capable allies or partners. Even when the signal is easy to fake, like wearing athletic gear without exercising, it still triggers a response. Marketers know this and design products to appeal to our desire for status, health, and achievement, regardless of the underlying reality. Despite knowing that many modern signals are hollow, we still fall for them. This is because our brains are tuned to respond to cues that once indicated real value. The emotional pull of a luxury brand or a flashy gadget is hard to resist, even when we understand it's just a symbol. This mismatch between our instincts and the modern world is at the heart of many marketing strategies. Branding is one of the most effective ways to create powerful signals in today's market. A strong brand can turn an ordinary product into a status symbol, commanding higher prices and greater loyalty. Companies spend billions on branding because they know it shapes perceptions and drives behavior. For consumers, owning branded items can feel like a way to signal identity, taste, or belonging. Packaging is more than just a way to protect products, it's a powerful signal in itself. The look and feel of packaging can suggest quality, exclusivity, or innovation. Marketers use colors, materials, and design elements to create an impression before you even see the product inside. In many cases, the packaging is what convinces us to choose one product over another, even if the contents are nearly identical. Advertising works by amplifying signals and making them more visible. Through clever messaging and repetition, ads can turn a simple logo or slogan into a powerful cue for consumers. The more we see a signal, the more likely we are to associate it with positive qualities, even if those associations are manufactured. This process of amplification is central to modern marketing. Our emotional brain is at the core of why signals work. When we see a symbol of success or status, our brains release chemicals that make us feel good or sometimes anxious or envious. These emotional reactions are automatic and often happen before we have time to think logically. Marketers design signals to tap into these responses, making us more likely to buy, share, or aspire. Social proof is a powerful form of signaling. When we see others using a product or displaying a logo, we're more likely to want it ourselves. This herd mentality is rooted in our evolutionary past, where following the group could mean the difference between survival and danger. Today, social media amplifies social proof, making signals spread faster and wider than ever before. Influencers have become modern masters of signaling. By showcasing products, lifestyles, or experiences, they create powerful signals that followers want to emulate. Brands partner with influencers to tap into their credibility and reach. The result is a feedback loop where signals are constantly reinforced and amplified, driving trends and shaping consumer behavior. Scarcity is another classic signal. When something is rare or hard to get, it feels more valuable. Marketers use limited editions, exclusive releases, and countdowns to create a sense of scarcity. Even if the product itself isn't special, the signal of scarcity can drive demand and make people act quickly. This taps into our ancient fear of missing out on valuable resources. Exclusivity is closely related to scarcity. When a brand creates the illusion that only a select few can access a product, it becomes a powerful signal of status. This illusion can be created through membership programs, invitational events, or personalized offers. Even if the exclusivity isn't real, the signal is enough to make people feel special and increase their desire for the product. Counterfeit products are a growing problem in the world of signals. Fake luxury goods can mimic the appearance of real ones but lack the underlying value. Despite this, many people are still drawn to counterfeit signals because they offer the appearance of status at a lower cost. This undermines the value of genuine signals and creates challenges for brands and consumers alike. As more people gain access to once exclusive signals, brands must find new ways to stand out. This leads to a cycle of signal inflation, where the value of each signal drops as it becomes more common. Companies respond by creating even more elaborate or expensive signals, raising the stakes for consumers who want to keep up. This cycle drives constant change in fashion, technology, and other industries. In a world full of signals, authenticity becomes a rare and valuable trait. Consumers are increasingly looking for brands and products that feel genuine rather than just flashy. However, it's often hard to tell the difference between authentic value and a well-crafted signal. This tension shapes how we make choices and who we trust in the marketplace. Storytelling is a powerful way to enhance signals. Brands use stories to create emotional connections and give their signals deeper meaning. A compelling story can turn a simple product into a symbol of adventure, love, or achievement. This makes the signal more memorable and persuasive, influencing how we feel and what we buy. Signals aren't just for luxury goods, they're everywhere in daily life. From the clothes we wear to the cars we drive, we're constantly sending and receiving signals about who we are. Even small choices like the apps on our phones or the coffee we drink can become signals of taste, values, or belonging. Understanding this helps us see the hidden forces shaping our decisions. Fitness signals have evolved from displays of physical strength to gym memberships, fitness trackers, and branded athletic wear. These modern signals are often easier to display than real fitness, but they still trigger the same responses in others. Marketers capitalize on this by selling products that promise to enhance our image, regardless of actual results. Wealth signals have always played a role in social status. In the past, these might have been land, livestock, or jewelry. Today, they include luxury cars, designer clothes, and exclusive experiences. While the form has changed, the function remains the same, to signal success and attract admiration. The ease of faking these signals today makes them less reliable but no less powerful. Desire is at the heart of why signals work. Marketers study what makes us want things, then design signals to trigger those desires. Whether it's the promise of status, belonging, or self-improvement, signals are crafted to tap into our deepest motivations. Understanding the psychology of desire helps explain why we chase after certain symbols, even when we know they're just signals. Technology has transformed the way signals are created and spread. Social media, online shopping, and digital advertising make it easier than ever to display and amplify signals. At the same time, technology enables new forms of signaling, from virtual badges to influencer endorsements. This rapid evolution keeps consumers and marketers in a constant race to stand out. While signals are powerful, they have their limits. When everyone can access the same signals, their value drops. Consumers may become skeptical or seek out new, more authentic forms of expression. This pushes brands to innovate and find fresh ways to signal value, leading to constant change and competition in the marketplace. Signals become more common and easier to fake, authenticity becomes a prized quality. Consumers look for brands, products, and people who seem real and trustworthy. This search for authenticity drives trends like handmade goods, local businesses, and transparent marketing. Even so, the line between authentic value and clever signaling is often blurred. Looking ahead, the world of signals will continue to evolve. New technologies, changing values, and global trends will shape how we send and interpret signals. Brands that understand the psychology behind signals will have an edge, but consumers are also becoming more savvy. The challenge will be to create signals that feel meaningful in an ever-changing landscape. Signals play a big role in shaping our identities. The brands we choose, the clothes we wear, and the products we use all send messages about who we are. Marketers tap into this by offering products that promise to express individuality or group membership. Understanding how signals influence identity can help us make more conscious choices. Not all signals are positive. Sometimes the pressure to display certain signals can lead to stress, debt, or unhealthy competition. Social media can amplify these pressures, making it seem like everyone else is more successful or attractive. Recognizing the dark side of signals can help us resist unhealthy comparisons and focus on what truly matters. Signals aren't just about products, they also shape our relationships. From the way we dress to the gifts we give, we use signals to attract partners, make friends, and build trust. Understanding the role of signals in relationships can help us communicate more effectively and build stronger connections. Signals can also drive social change. Movements use symbols, slogans, and shared behaviors to unite people and spread ideas. When enough people adopt a new signal, it can shift norms and create lasting change. Marketers and activists alike use this power to influence culture and shape the future. Signals have real economic value. Brands invest in creating strong signals because they drive sales, loyalty, and market share. Consumers pay more for products with powerful signals, even when the underlying value is the same. This creates a marketplace where signaling can be as important as the product itself. So many signals competing for our attention, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Signal fatigue happens when we become numb to marketing messages and symbols. Brands must work harder to break through the noise, while consumers may seek out quieter, more meaningful experiences. This cycle shapes how signals are used and received. Trust is a key ingredient in effective signaling. When we trust a brand or person, their signals carry more weight. Conversely, if we suspect deception, even the most impressive signals lose their power. Building and maintaining trust is essential for long-term success in both marketing and relationships. Culture shapes which signals matter and how they're interpreted. What counts as a status symbol in one society may be meaningless in another. Marketers must understand cultural differences to create effective signals. As cultures blend and change, the landscape of signals becomes even more complex and dynamic. Digital age has transformed signaling. Online profiles, likes, and followers have become new forms of status. Digital badges, achievements, and virtual goods are now signals of skill or belonging. As technology evolves, so do the ways we send and interpret signals, making the digital world a rich field for study. Signaling raises important ethical questions. Is it right to sell products based on signals rather than real value? Should brands be responsible for the effects of their signals on society? As consumers become more aware, ethical signaling may become a competitive advantage, shaping the future of marketing. Becoming a savvy consumer means learning to read signals critically. By understanding how signals work, we can make better choices and avoid being misled by hollow symbols. This skill is valuable not just in shopping, but in all areas of life where signals influence our decisions. Despite all the changes in technology and society, signals remain a fundamental part of human life. They shape our choices, relationships, and even our sense of self. By understanding the evolution of signals from survival cues to luxury logos, we can navigate the modern world with greater awareness and confidence. Signals have transformed from honest, costly cues in our ancestral past to mass-produced symbols in today's marketplace. While the form has changed, the emotional impact remains strong. Marketers use signal inflation to capture attention, but consumers can learn to see beyond the surface. By recognizing the power and limits of signals, we can make more informed choices in every aspect of life. As we move into the future, the way we use and interpret signals will keep evolving. Staying aware of how signals influence us can help us navigate the complexities of modern life. Whether we're choosing a product, building a brand, or connecting with others, understanding signals gives us the tools to make smarter, more authentic decisions. Have you ever wondered why fear-based messages seem to grab your attention more than hopeful ones? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of loss aversion. This psychological principle explains why humans are wired to avoid loss more urgently than to seek out gains. From ancient survival instincts to modern marketing, fear has always had a powerful grip on our decisions. In this video, we'll explore how marketers use this bias to influence our choices and why fear consistently outperforms hope when it comes to selling products and ideas. Let's begin our journey into the science behind fear-driven persuasion. Understand loss aversion, we need to look back at our evolutionary past. For our ancestors, losing food or shelter could mean starvation or even death. This made avoiding loss a matter of survival. Over thousands of years, our brains became hardwired to react more strongly to threats of loss than to opportunities for gain. This instinct still shapes our behavior today, even though the dangers we face are rarely life-threatening. Marketers have learned to tap into this ancient wiring, using fear to drive action and urgency. Today's world, loss aversion shows up in many ways. We might feel anxious about missing a sale, losing a job opportunity, or not keeping up with the latest trends. These modern triggers may not threaten our survival, but our brains still react as if they do. This anxiety often leads to impulsive decisions, like buying something we don't need just because it's on sale. Marketers know this and design campaigns to trigger these feelings, making us act quickly to avoid missing out. Loss aversion is a well-studied concept in behavioral economics. Research shows that the pain of losing is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining. This means we're more likely to take action to avoid a loss than to achieve a similar gain. Marketers use this knowledge to craft messages that focus on what you might lose if you don't act, rather than what you could gain. This subtle shift in framing can make all the difference in how we respond. One of the most common ways marketers exploit loss aversion is through limited time offers. When you see a countdown clock or a message saying only a few left, your brain perceives a threat of loss. This creates a sense of urgency, pushing you to make a purchase before it's too late. Even if you weren't planning to buy, the fear of missing out can override your rational thinking. These tactics are everywhere, from online shopping to TV commercials. Expiring deals are another powerful tool in the marketer's toolkit. By setting a deadline, companies force you to make a decision quickly. The looming expiration date makes you focus on what you'll lose if you don't act. This taps directly into our loss aversion, making us more likely to buy now rather than risk missing out. It's a simple but highly effective strategy that plays on our natural fears. Fear-based messaging is everywhere in advertising. From health insurance ads warning about unexpected emergencies to security companies highlighting the risks of break-ins, these messages are designed to make you worry about what could go wrong. By focusing on potential losses, marketers can prompt you to take action to protect yourself. This approach is often more effective than simply highlighting the benefits of a product or service. Don't miss out narrative is a classic example of loss aversion in action. Marketers use phrases like last chance or final call to make you feel like you're about to lose something valuable. This taps into our deep-seated fear of missing out or FOMO. The result, we're more likely to act quickly, sometimes without fully considering whether we really want or need the product. These narratives are especially common in email marketing and social media ads. Scarcity and urgency are closely linked to loss aversion. When something is scarce, we perceive it as more valuable. Marketers create artificial scarcity by limiting the number of products available or by offering exclusive deals. This makes us feel like we have to act fast or risk losing out. Urgency amplifies this effect, making it even harder to resist the temptation to buy. Together, these tactics are a powerful combination. Social proof is another way marketers leverage loss aversion. When we see others taking advantage of a deal or buying a product, we worry about missing out. This fear of being left behind can be a powerful motivator. Marketers use testimonials, reviews, and real-time purchase notifications to create a sense of urgency and competition. The message is clear: act now or you'll lose out on what everyone else is getting. Regret is a powerful emotion that often follows decisions influenced by loss aversion. Marketers know that the fear of future regret can push us to act quickly. By highlighting what we might lose, they make us worry about feeling regret if we don't take action. This emotional pressure can override our logical thinking, leading to impulsive purchases and decisions we might later question. How does fear outperform optimism in sales? While hope and positive messages can inspire, they rarely create the same sense of urgency as fear. Loss aversion makes us focus on what we might lose, not just what we could gain. This is why fear-based campaigns often generate faster and more decisive responses. Marketers understand that tapping into our anxieties is more effective than simply offering hope. Anxiety is a key emotion that marketers exploit through loss aversion. When we feel anxious about missing out or losing something, we're more likely to make quick decisions. This anxiety can be subtle, like a ticking clock on a website, or more overt, like warnings about limited stock. Either way, it's designed to keep us on edge and ready to act. Impulse buying is often the result of loss aversion at work. When faced with a limited-time offer or a fear-based message, we're more likely to buy on impulse. Marketers design their campaigns to create this sense of urgency, knowing that it leads to more sales. While we might regret these purchases later, in the moment the fear of missing out is too strong to resist. Regret is not just a consequence of loss aversion, it's also a tool marketers use. By reminding us of past missed opportunities, they make us more sensitive to future losses. This increases the pressure to act quickly and avoid feeling regret again. It's a cycle that keeps us coming back for more, always chasing the next deal or offer. Emotional marketing is all about tapping into our deepest feelings. Loss aversion is just one of many emotions marketers use, but it's one of the most powerful. By making us feel anxious, worried, or regretful, they can drive us to take action. Emotional appeals are often more effective than logical arguments, especially when it comes to making quick decisions. While fear is a strong motivator, hope also has a place in marketing. Positive messages can inspire and uplift, but they rarely create the same urgency as fear. Marketers often use hope to build brand loyalty and long-term relationships, while fear is used to drive immediate action. Understanding the balance between these emotions is key to effective marketing. Black Friday is a perfect example of loss aversion in action. Retailers use limited-time deals, countdowns, and fear-based messaging to create a frenzy of buying. Shoppers worry about missing out on the best deals, leading to impulsive purchases in crowded stores. The entire event is designed to tap into our fear of loss, making it one of the most successful sales days of the year. Insurance companies are masters of fear-based marketing. Their ads often focus on what could go wrong if you're not protected: accidents, disasters, or unexpected emergencies. By highlighting these risks, they make you feel vulnerable and anxious, prompting you to buy coverage. This approach is far more effective than simply listing the benefits of insurance. Health product marketers often use fear to sell their products. Ads might warn about the dangers of poor nutrition, lack of exercise, or exposure to toxins. By focusing on what you could lose: your health, energy, or even your life, they create a sense of urgency to buy their solutions. This fear-based approach is often more persuasive than simply promoting the benefits of a healthy lifestyle. Security companies use fear-based messaging to sell their products. Ads often highlight the risks of break-ins, theft, or personal harm. By focusing on what you stand to lose, they make you feel vulnerable and in need of protection. This fear-driven approach is highly effective, prompting many people to invest in security systems for peace of mind. Travel companies often use loss aversion to sell vacation packages. Limited-time offers, exclusive deals, and countdowns create a sense of urgency. The fear of missing out on a dream vacation can push people to book quickly, sometimes without fully considering their options. This approach turns travel planning into a race against the clock. Online retailers use a variety of loss aversion tactics. Flash sales, low stock warnings, and expiring promo codes all create a sense of urgency. Shoppers are encouraged to act fast to avoid missing out, leading to more impulsive purchases. These tactics are especially effective in the fast-paced world of e-commerce. Subscription services often use fear-based messaging to retain customers. Emails warning about expiring access or lost benefits create anxiety and prompt quick renewals. By focusing on what you'll lose if you cancel, these companies tap into loss aversion to keep you subscribed. It's a subtle but effective way to maintain customer loyalty. Event promoters use loss aversion to sell tickets. early bird pricing, limited seating, and countdowns to sell-out dates all create a sense of urgency. The fear of missing out on a unique experience can drive people to buy tickets quickly, sometimes before they've even made firm plans. Real estate agents often use fear-based tactics to close deals. Phrases like "this property won't last" or "multiple offers received" create a sense of scarcity and urgency. Buyers worry about losing out on their dream home, leading to faster decisions and higher offers. Loss aversion is a key driver in the competitive real estate market. Tech companies use loss aversion to create buzz around new product launches. Limited pre-orders, exclusive access, and countdowns to release dates all build anticipation and urgency. The fear of missing out on the latest gadget can drive people to buy early, sometimes before reviews are even available. Fashion brands often use loss aversion to sell new collections. Limited edition items, flash sales, and last chance messages create a sense of scarcity. Shoppers worry about missing out on the latest trends, leading to quick purchases and increased sales. This approach keeps the fashion industry fast-paced and competitive. Food delivery apps use loss aversion to encourage orders. Limited time discounts, expiring promo codes, and messages about popular dishes selling out all create urgency. The fear of missing out on a deal or a favorite meal can prompt quick decisions, especially during busy meal times. Fitness marketers use fear-based messaging to sell programs and memberships. Ads might warn about the dangers of inactivity or highlight limited enrollment periods. By focusing on what you could lose, your health, energy, or self-confidence, they create a sense of urgency to sign up now. Education companies use loss aversion to sell courses and programs. Limited time discounts, enrollment deadlines, and warnings about missing out on career opportunities all create urgency. The fear of falling behind or missing a chance for advancement can drive people to enroll quickly. Financial service providers use fear-based messaging to sell products like credit cards, loans, and investment plans. Ads often focus on the risks of not being prepared for emergencies or missing out on financial opportunities. By highlighting potential losses, they prompt quick decisions and signups. Charities often use loss aversion to encourage donations. Campaigns might focus on the negative consequences of not helping, such as children going hungry or animals suffering. By highlighting what could be lost without support, they create a sense of urgency and responsibility. Subscription box companies use loss aversion to attract and retain customers. Limited edition items, expiring offers, and reminders about missing out on exclusive products all create urgency. The fear of missing a special box or deal can drive quick signups and renewals. Software companies use loss aversion to encourage upgrades and renewals. Warnings about losing access to features, support, or security updates create anxiety. By focusing on what you'll lose if you don't upgrade, they prompt quick decisions and continued subscriptions. Mobile app developers use loss aversion to drive downloads and in-app purchases. Limited time offers, expiring rewards, and notifications about missed opportunities all create urgency. The fear of missing out on exclusive content or bonuses can prompt quick action. Game developers use loss aversion to keep players engaged and spending. Limited time events, exclusive items, and countdowns to unlock rewards all create a sense of urgency. The fear of missing out on rare items or achievements can drive players to play more and spend more. Car dealerships use loss aversion to close sales. Limited time discounts, end-of-year clearance events, and warnings about price increases all create urgency. Buyers worry about missing out on a deal, leading to faster decisions and more sales. Home service providers use fear-based messaging to sell repairs and maintenance. Ads might warn about the risks of neglecting repairs or missing out on seasonal discounts. By focusing on potential losses, they create urgency and prompt quick bookings. Personal care brands use loss aversion to sell products like skincare and supplements. Ads might warn about the dangers of aging, missing out on limited edition products, or losing out on special offers. This creates a sense of urgency and prompts quick purchases. Entertainment companies use loss aversion to sell tickets, subscriptions, and merchandise. Limited time events, exclusive content, and countdowns to release dates all create urgency. The fear of missing out on a popular show or event can drive quick decisions and increase sales. Companies use loss aversion to encourage subscription renewals. Emails warning about lost access, expiring benefits, or missed content create anxiety and prompt quick renewals. By focusing on what you'll lose, they keep customers engaged and subscribed. Retailers use loss aversion in their promotions. Flash sales, limited stock, and last chance messages all create urgency. Shoppers worry about missing out on deals, leading to more impulsive purchases and higher sales volumes. Holiday sales are a prime example of loss aversion at work. Retailers use countdowns, limited time offers, and fear-based messaging to create a sense of urgency. The fear of missing out on holiday deals drives shoppers to buy quickly, often leading to record sales. Summary: loss aversion is a powerful force in human psychology. Marketers have learned to exploit this bias through fear-based messaging, limited-time offers, and scarcity tactics. While hope and optimism can inspire, fear consistently drives faster and more decisive action. Understanding how loss aversion works can help you make more informed decisions and recognize when you're being influenced by fear rather than logic. Scarcity is a concept deeply rooted in our evolutionary history. In ancient times, scarcity signaled real danger, whether it was food, water, or shelter. A lack of resources meant survival was at stake. Fast forward to today, and scarcity often takes on a very different form. Instead of actual shortages, we now encounter manufactured scarcity, carefully designed to trigger the same primal responses. This shift from genuine need to artificial urgency is at the heart of our discussion. Understanding this evolution helps us see why our brains still react so strongly, even when the threat isn't real. Brains are wired to respond to scarcity with urgency. This is known as the survival circuit, a set of neural pathways that evolved to keep us alive in times of real danger. When resources were limited, quick action could mean the difference between life and death. Today, these same circuits are activated by artificial signals. Even when there's no real threat, our minds can't easily distinguish between genuine and manufactured scarcity. This automatic response is powerful, and it's the reason why urgency feels so compelling, even in modern contexts. Think about the last time you saw a countdown timer on a website. Maybe it was for a sale, a ticket release, or an exclusive offer. These timers are everywhere, and they're designed to create a sense of urgency. The ticking clock makes us feel like we have to act fast or risk missing out. This feeling isn't accidental, it's a direct result of how our brains process scarcity. The timer becomes a signal, activating our survival instincts and pushing us to make decisions quickly, often without fully thinking them through. Exclusive product drops are another common tactic. Brands announce limited releases, often with little warning, and only a select few can buy. This creates a powerful sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. Our minds interpret this as a rare opportunity, and the urge to act quickly takes over. Even if we don't truly need the product, the idea that it might be gone soon makes it feel more valuable. This is artificial scarcity at work, leveraging our natural instincts to drive action. Limited edition products tap into our desire to own something unique. When we hear that only a certain number of items exist, it creates a sense of exclusivity. This exclusivity is a form of artificial scarcity, making us believe that the opportunity is fleeting. The collector's mindset kicks in, and suddenly we feel compelled to act before it's too late. This tactic is used across industries, from sneakers to art to digital goods, and it's remarkably effective at driving demand. Artificial scarcity creates the illusion that opportunities are rare and fleeting. Marketers use this illusion to make products and experiences seem more valuable than they really are. The mind responds as if opportunity itself were prey slipping away, triggering a rush to act. This sense of urgency often overrides our ability to deliberate, leading us to make choices we might not otherwise consider. Recognizing this illusion is the first step toward making more thoughtful decisions. When urgency is triggered, our brains shift from careful consideration to rapid action. This is a survival mechanism. When danger is near, there's no time to weigh every option. In the context of artificial scarcity, this mechanism works against us. The pressure to act quickly can lead to impulsive decisions, often without fully understanding the consequences. Marketers rely on this response, knowing that urgency can override our better judgment. Artificial scarcity doesn't just make us act quickly, it also makes us more likely to comply with requests. When we believe that something is in short supply, we're more willing to follow instructions or accept terms we might otherwise question. This compliance is a direct result of the urgency created by scarcity. It's a powerful tool for marketers, but it can also be used in other contexts, from politics to social influence. Digital marketing is full of artificial scarcity tactics. Flash sales, limited-time offers, and exclusive memberships are just a few examples. These strategies are designed to create urgency and drive immediate action. The digital environment makes it easy to implement these tactics, and the results can be highly effective. Understanding how these techniques work can help us recognize when we're being influenced by artificial scarcity. Fear of missing out is a powerful motivator. When we see others taking advantage of an opportunity, we feel pressure to join in. This social influence amplifies the effects of artificial scarcity, making us even more likely to act quickly. The psychology behind FOMO is complex, but it's rooted in our desire to belong and not be left behind. Marketers use this to their advantage, creating scenarios where missing out feels like a real loss. Something appears scarce, we automatically perceive it as more valuable. This is a cognitive bias that marketers exploit. By making products seem limited, they increase our willingness to pay and our desire to own. This perception of value isn't always based on the actual quality or usefulness of the item. It's driven by the idea that it might not be available later. Recognizing this bias can help us make more rational decisions. Countdown timers are a classic example of artificial scarcity. The ticking clock creates a sense of urgency, making us feel like time is running out. This effect is so strong that it can override our usual decision-making processes. We're more likely to buy, sign up, or commit when we believe the opportunity is about to disappear. The countdown effect is a simple but powerful tool for influencing behavior. Commerce platforms frequently use artificial scarcity to drive sales. You might see messages like "only 3 left in stock" or "sale ends in 2 hours." These cues are designed to make you act fast. The convenience of online shopping makes it easy to respond to these signals, and the pressure to buy before it's too late can be hard to resist. Understanding these tactics can help us shop more mindfully. Social proof is another factor that amplifies the effects of artificial scarcity. When we see others buying or acting quickly, we're more likely to do the same. This creates a feedback loop where urgency and scarcity feed off each other. Marketers use testimonials, live purchase notifications, and popularity indicators to reinforce this effect. The result is a powerful push toward immediate action. Artificial scarcity doesn't just affect our thoughts, it also triggers strong emotions. Anxiety, excitement, and even fear can all be part of the experience. These emotions make us more likely to act impulsively as we seek relief from the tension. Marketers know that emotional responses are powerful drivers of behavior, and they design scarcity tactics to maximize these effects. Research in psychology and neuroscience has shown that scarcity activates specific areas of the brain. These areas are associated with reward, motivation, and decision making. When we perceive something as scarce, our brains release chemicals that heighten our focus and drive us to act. This response is automatic and difficult to control, which is why artificial scarcity is so effective at influencing behavior. Artificial scarcity isn't limited to shopping or marketing. We encounter it in many areas of life, from event tickets to job opportunities. The sense that something is limited or exclusive can influence our choices in subtle ways. Recognizing these patterns helps us understand why we sometimes feel pressured to act, even when the stakes are low. Awareness is the first step toward regaining control. When we're constantly exposed to artificial scarcity, it can lead to decision fatigue. The pressure to act quickly wears us down, making it harder to make thoughtful choices. Over time, this can result in impulsive decisions and regret. Marketers count on this fatigue, knowing that tired minds are more likely to comply. Taking breaks and slowing down can help us resist these pressures. Social media platforms use artificial scarcity to keep us engaged. Limited time stories, disappearing messages, and exclusive content all create a sense of urgency. These features are designed to make us check in frequently, fearing that we'll miss something important. The result is a cycle of constant engagement, driven by the same survival circuits that once kept us safe. Video games often use artificial scarcity to encourage play and spending. Limited time events, rare items, and exclusive rewards all tap into our desire to act quickly. These tactics create excitement and competition, but they also exploit our natural responses to scarcity. Understanding how games use these techniques can help us enjoy them more mindfully. Event organizers use artificial scarcity to sell tickets quickly. Early bird specials, limited seating, and exclusive access all create a sense of urgency. The fear of missing out on a unique experience pushes us to buy sooner rather than later. These tactics are effective because they tap into our natural desire to be part of something special. Job postings often use artificial scarcity to encourage quick applications. Phrases like limited openings or apply now create pressure to act fast. This urgency can make us rush through applications or accept offers without careful consideration. Recognizing these tactics can help us approach job searches with a clearer mind. Educational programs sometimes use artificial scarcity to attract students. Limited enrollment, early deadlines, and exclusive courses all create a sense of urgency. These tactics can make us feel like we have to act quickly to secure our spot. While some opportunities are genuinely limited, it's important to distinguish between real and artificial scarcity. Real estate agents often use artificial scarcity to sell properties. Phrases like multiple offers or won't last long are designed to create urgency. The fear of losing out on a home can make buyers act quickly, sometimes without fully considering their options. Being aware of these tactics can help us make more informed decisions. Travel websites use artificial scarcity to encourage bookings. Messages like only 2 rooms left or deal ends soon are common. These cues create a sense of urgency, making us feel like we have to book immediately. The convenience of online travel planning makes it easy to respond to these signals, but it's important to pause and consider our options. Food delivery apps use artificial scarcity to boost orders. Limited time discounts, exclusive menu items, and countdowns for special deals all create urgency. These tactics make us feel like we have to order now or miss out. While they can be fun, it's important to recognize when urgency is being manufactured. Subscription services often use artificial scarcity to attract new members. Limited time offers, exclusive content, and special bonuses are common tactics. These strategies create a sense of urgency, encouraging us to sign up quickly. While some offers are genuinely valuable, it's important to evaluate them carefully before committing. Auctions are built on the principle of scarcity. The limited availability of items and the ticking clock create intense urgency. Bidders feel pressure to act quickly, often leading to higher prices. While auctions can be exciting, it's important to stay aware of how artificial scarcity influences our decisions. The world of collectibles thrives on artificial scarcity. Limited editions, exclusive releases, and rare finds all create a sense of urgency. Collectors feel compelled to act quickly, fearing that they'll miss out on something valuable. This mindset can drive prices up and fuel intense competition. Fashion brands use artificial scarcity to create buzz around new releases. Limited runs, exclusive collaborations, and timed drops all generate urgency. Fans rush to buy before items sell out, often making impulsive purchases. Recognizing these tactics can help us make more intentional choices. Tech companies use artificial scarcity to launch new products. Limited pre-orders, exclusive features, and early access all create a sense of urgency. Consumers feel pressure to act quickly, fearing that they'll miss out on the latest innovation. Being aware of these tactics can help us make more informed decisions. Entertainment companies use artificial scarcity to promote events and releases. Limited screenings, exclusive premieres, and special editions all create urgency. Fans feel compelled to act quickly to secure their spot or copy. Recognizing these tactics can help us enjoy entertainment without unnecessary pressure. Health and fitness programs often use artificial scarcity to attract clients. Limited spots, early bird pricing, and exclusive access all create urgency. The desire to improve our health makes us more susceptible to these tactics. Being mindful of how scarcity is used can help us make better choices for our well-being. Nonprofit organizations sometimes use artificial scarcity in fundraising. Limited time matching gifts, exclusive events, and urgent appeals all create a sense of urgency. Donors feel pressure to give quickly, fearing that their opportunity to make an impact will disappear. Recognizing these tactics can help us give more thoughtfully. Political campaigns use artificial scarcity to mobilize supporters. Limited-time fundraising goals, exclusive events, and urgent calls to action all create urgency. Supporters feel compelled to act quickly, believing that their participation is crucial. Understanding these tactics can help us engage more thoughtfully in the political process. News media outlets use artificial scarcity to capture attention. Breaking news alerts, limited-time access, and exclusive stories all create urgency. The pressure to stay informed can make us consume news quickly, sometimes without verifying facts. Being aware of these tactics can help us approach news more critically. Artificial scarcity can even affect our personal relationships. The idea that time or attention is limited can create urgency, leading us to act impulsively. This can result in misunderstandings or missed opportunities for genuine connection. Being mindful of how scarcity influences our interactions can help us build stronger relationships. Artificial scarcity challenges our self-control. The pressure to act quickly can make it difficult to stick to our goals or values. Recognizing when urgency is being manufactured allows us to pause and make more deliberate choices. Practicing self-control in the face of artificial scarcity is a valuable skill. Impulsive decisions driven by artificial scarcity can lead to regret. When the urgency fades, we may realize that we didn't really want or need what we bought or agreed to. Learning to recognize and resist these pressures can help us avoid regret and make choices that truly align with our needs. First step to resisting artificial scarcity is building awareness. By understanding how these tactics work, we can recognize when we're being influenced. This awareness gives us the power to pause, reflect, and make choices that are right for us. It's not about avoiding all urgency, but about knowing when it's real and when it's manufactured. There are practical strategies we can use to resist artificial scarcity. Taking a moment to pause before acting, setting personal rules for decision-making, and seeking out additional information can all help. By slowing down, we give ourselves the chance to make more thoughtful choices and avoid being swept up in manufactured urgency. Mindful consumption is about making choices that align with our values and needs. By recognizing when urgency is being manufactured, we can resist pressure and focus on what truly matters. This approach helps us avoid impulsive decisions and build a more intentional relationship with the things we buy and do. Sharing what we've learned about artificial scarcity can help others make better choices. By discussing these tactics with friends, family, and colleagues, we can spread awareness and encourage more thoughtful decision-making. Education is a powerful tool for resisting manipulation and building a more mindful society. Taking time to reflect on our decisions helps us understand when we've been influenced by artificial scarcity. Reflection allows us to learn from our experiences and make better choices in the future. By building this habit, we become more resilient to urgency tactics and more confident in our decisions. Artificial scarcity is a powerful force, but it doesn't have to control us. By understanding how urgency is manufactured and learning to recognize these tactics, we can make choices that truly serve our needs. Regaining control over our decisions is possible when we approach opportunities with awareness, reflection, and intention. The next time you feel the pressure of urgency, remember, not every opportunity is as rare as it seems. Have you ever wondered why you're drawn to a busy restaurant, or why a product with thousands of reviews feels more trustworthy? This is the power of social proof at work. Social proof is a psychological phenomenon where we look to others to guide our decisions, especially in uncertain situations. In this video, we'll explore how our ancient instincts to follow the group have been amplified in the modern world, shaping everything from what we buy to the content we consume online. Let's dive into how the crowd can end up thinking for us. Social proof didn't start with social media or online reviews. It's rooted deep in our evolutionary history. In small groups, copying others was a survival strategy. If everyone in your tribe avoided a certain barrier or followed a particular path, it was probably for a good reason. This instinct helped our ancestors avoid danger and make quick decisions. Today, that same instinct still guides us, but the scale has changed dramatically. Instead of a handful of people, we now look to millions for cues. Fast forward to the present and social proof is everywhere. Think about how you shop online. You're likely to trust a product with hundreds of positive reviews over one with none. Marketers know this and use it to their advantage. By displaying ratings, testimonials, and bestseller badges, they tap into our instinct to follow the crowd. What once helped us survive now influences what we buy, where we eat, and even what we watch. Popularity is now more visible than ever. Social media platforms display likes, shares, and follower counts for all to see. When we notice that a post has gone viral or a video has millions of views, we're more likely to pay attention. This visibility creates a feedback loop. The more popular something appears, the more people engage with it, making it even more popular. It's a modern twist on an ancient instinct. Influencers are the new tribal leaders. Their endorsements carry enormous weight because they act as trusted guides for their followers. When an influencer recommends a product or shares an opinion, their audience often follows suit. Brands recognize this power and partner with influencers to amplify their message. The result? Social proof spreads faster and farther than ever before, shaping trends in consumer behavior on a massive scale. Numbers have become a new form of social proof. We're drawn to products with high ratings, videos with millions of views, and posts with countless likes. These metrics signal popularity and quality even if we don't know the people behind them. Marketers and platforms highlight these numbers to nudge us toward certain choices. The more visible the numbers, the stronger the pull of social proof. Behind the scenes, algorithms play a huge role in what we see as popular. These algorithms decide which products, posts, or videos get promoted based on engagement and other signals. As a result, what appears to be the crowd's choice is often shaped by invisible code. This can create a self-reinforcing cycle where already popular items get even more attention while others are left behind. The past, social proof was limited to small groups. Today, the scale is massive. Millions of people can influence what's considered popular thanks to global platforms and instant communication. This scale changes the nature of social proof. Instead of relying on a few trusted individuals, we're now influenced by the preferences of a vast, often anonymous crowd. This can make trends more volatile and unpredictable. One of the biggest risks of social proof at scale is that it can replace our own independent judgment. When we see that something is popular, we may assume it's good or correct without thinking critically. This can lead to herd behavior where everyone follows the crowd, even if the crowd is wrong. It's important to recognize when we're relying on social proof instead of our own reasoning. Social proof can create self-reinforcing trends. When something becomes popular, it attracts more attention, which makes it even more popular. This cycle can lead to runaway successes where a product or idea dominates simply because it got an early boost. But it can also mean that less visible options never get a fair chance, even if they're just as good or better. Marketers are experts at amplifying social proof. They use testimonials, celebrity endorsements, and visible metrics to make products seem more popular and trustworthy. By highlighting what others are doing or buying, they encourage us to follow suit. This strategy is especially effective online, where social proof can be displayed instantly and at scale. Online reviews are one of the most powerful forms of social proof. Before making a purchase, most people check what others have said. Positive reviews can boost sales, while negative ones can sink a product. Companies know this and often encourage satisfied customers to leave feedback. Reviews give us a sense of what the crowd thinks, making us feel more confident in our choices. Testimonials and endorsements work because they show that real people or trusted figures support a product or idea. When we see someone we admire or relate to giving a positive review, we're more likely to follow their lead. This is why brands invest heavily in getting endorsements from celebrities, experts, or satisfied customers. It's all about leveraging the power of social proof. Ever noticed a bestseller badge on a product? That's social proof in action. These badges signal that many others have chosen this item, making us more likely to pick it too. It's a simple but effective way to nudge our decisions, especially when we're unsure. Marketers use these visual cues to guide us toward popular choices. Viral content is a perfect example of social proof at scale. When a video or post gets shared widely, it signals to others that it's worth watching. This creates a snowball effect where more and more people join in simply because everyone else is doing it. Viral trends can spread rapidly, shaping opinions and behaviors across the globe. While social proof can help us make quick decisions, it also has a downside. Herding behavior can lead us to follow the crowd blindly, even when it's not the best choice. This can result in fads, bubbles, or even dangerous trends. It's important to be aware of when we're following others versus making our own informed decisions. Algorithms don't just show us what's popular, they can also create echo chambers. By repeatedly showing us content similar to what we've already engaged with, they reinforce our existing preferences and beliefs. This can make it harder to discover new ideas or challenge our assumptions, further amplifying the effects of social proof. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it's the best option. Social proof can sometimes elevate mediocre products or ideas simply because they caught on early. Meanwhile, high-quality alternatives might get overlooked. It's important to remember that popularity is not always a reliable indicator of value or quality. Many of the influences that shape our decisions are invisible. Algorithms, marketing strategies, and even the design of websites can subtly steer us toward certain choices. We may think we're making independent decisions, but often we're being nudged by unseen forces. Recognizing these influences is the first step toward making more conscious choices. Trust is at the heart of social proof. We're more likely to follow the crowd when we trust the people or sources involved. That's why brands work hard to build credibility and why influencers cultivate loyal followings. Trust amplifies the effects of social proof, making us more willing to go along with the group. Social proof isn't just an online phenomenon. We see it in everyday life, from crowded restaurants to popular fashion trends. When we notice others doing something, we're more likely to join in. This instinct helps us fit in and feel connected, but it can also lead us to make choices we wouldn't otherwise consider. Copying others is a shortcut our brains use to save time and energy. Instead of researching every option, we look to the crowd for guidance. This can be helpful in complex or unfamiliar situations, but it also means we're vulnerable to groupthink and social pressure. Understanding why we copy others can help us make better decisions. The bandwagon effect is a classic example of social proof. When we see that many people are doing something, we're more likely to do it too, just to fit in. This effect can drive trends, boost sales, and even influence elections. It's a powerful force that shapes our behavior in subtle ways. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, is closely tied to social proof. When we see others enjoying something, we don't want to be left out. This fear can drive us to join in, even if we're not sure it's right for us. Marketers often use FOMO to create urgency and boost participation. Marketing campaigns often rely on social proof to persuade us. By showcasing customer testimonials, user counts, and visible engagement, brands create a sense of popularity and trust. This strategy is especially effective in crowded markets where standing out is tough. Social proof helps brands cut through the noise and win our attention. Social proof can be manipulated. Fake reviews, inflated follower counts, and artificial engagement can create the illusion of popularity. This makes it harder to know what's genuinely popular and what's been engineered to look that way. Being aware of these tactics can help us avoid being misled. It's not always easy to spot fake social proof, but there are signs to watch for. Look out for suspiciously positive reviews, sudden spikes in followers, or engagement that doesn't match the content. Platforms are getting better at detecting fraud, but it's still important to stay vigilant and question what you see. With so many choices available, decision fatigue is a real problem. Social proof offers a shortcut, helping us make decisions faster. But relying too much on the crowd can lead to choices that aren't right for us. It's important to balance social proof with our own preferences and needs. The digital age has supercharged social proof. With instant access to reviews, ratings, and social media trends, we're constantly exposed to what others think and do. This makes it easier than ever to follow the crowd, but also increases the risk of herd behavior and echo chambers. At its core, social proof is about uncertainty. When we're unsure, we look to others for guidance. This instinct is deeply rooted in our psychology and has helped humans survive for millennia. Understanding the psychology behind social proof can help us recognize when we're being influenced and make more deliberate choices. Social proof is especially strong in group settings. When everyone around us is doing something, it's hard to go against the grain. This can be helpful in some situations, but it can also lead to conformity and a lack of diversity in thought. Being aware of group dynamics can help us resist unwanted pressure. Social proof isn't always reliable. Sometimes the crowd gets it wrong, leading to bad decisions or failed trends. It's important to remember that just because something is popular doesn't mean it's right. Critical thinking and independent judgment are essential for making good choices. The key to using social proof wisely is balance. It's helpful to consider what others think, but it's just as important to trust your own instincts and values. By balancing social proof with independent thought, you can make choices that are right for you, not just popular. As technology evolves, social proof will only become more influential. New platforms and tools will make it easier to see what others are doing and thinking. At the same time, we'll need to become more discerning about the sources and quality of social proof we rely on. The future will require a balance of trust and skepticism. While social proof can drive trends, it can also stifle innovation. When everyone follows the crowd, new ideas may struggle to gain traction. Innovators often have to go against the grain, challenging popular opinions and forging their own path. Recognizing the limits of social proof can help us support creativity and progress. Leaders use social proof to inspire and motivate. By highlighting group achievements or shared goals, they encourage others to join in and contribute. Effective leaders understand the power of the crowd, but also know when to challenge the status quo and encourage independent thinking. During crises, social proof can be both helpful and harmful. Seeing others take action can encourage us to do the same, but it can also lead to panic or misinformation. In uncertain times, it's especially important to verify information and think critically before following the crowd. Social proof can be a powerful force for social change. When enough people adopt a new behavior or belief, it can shift norms and inspire others to follow. Movements for justice, equality, or sustainability often rely on visible support to gain momentum and create lasting impact. In the workplace, social proof shapes everything from project choices to office culture. When employees see their peers adopting new tools or practices, they're more likely to follow suit. Leaders can use social proof to encourage positive behaviors and foster a collaborative environment. Technology has made social proof more visible and influential than ever. From app downloads to trending hashtags, we're constantly exposed to what others are doing. This visibility can drive rapid adoption of new tools and ideas, but it also increases the risk of fads and fleeting trends. Consumer choices are heavily influenced by social proof. From restaurant ratings to product reviews, we rely on the experiences of others to guide our decisions. Companies that understand this can shape consumer behavior by making social proof visible and accessible. In education, social proof can influence learning choices and classroom dynamics. When students see their peers participating or excelling, they're more likely to join in. Teachers can use social proof to encourage engagement and foster a positive learning environment. Health behaviors are often shaped by social proof. When we see others adopting healthy habits or following medical advice, we're more likely to do the same. Public health campaigns use this principle to encourage positive change and improve outcomes. Relationships are influenced by social proof too. We're more likely to trust or befriend someone who is popular or well-liked by others. This can affect everything from friendships to romantic choices as we look to the crowd for cues about who to connect with. Social proof is a powerful force that shapes our decisions in countless ways. While it can help us make quick choices and feel connected, it's important to balance the wisdom of the crowd with our own independent judgment. By staying aware of how social proof works, we can make more thoughtful decisions and avoid simply following the crowd. Imagine living in a world where every action you took was remembered by everyone around you. In ancestral societies, reputation was everything. Your choices, good or bad, followed you for life, shaping how others treated you and how you saw yourself. Today, however, things have changed dramatically. With the rise of technology and online platforms, our actions are often detached from our identities. This shift has profound implications for how we interact, trust, and hold each other accountable. In this video, we'll explore the journey from reputation-based societies to algorithm-driven anonymity, and what this means for our collective memory and moral compass. The past, small communities relied heavily on reputation. Everyone knew each other, and word of mouth was the main way information spread. If someone broke a promise or acted dishonestly, the news would travel fast. This created a powerful incentive to behave well, since your social standing could be damaged for years, even for a single mistake. Reputation acted as a kind of social currency, influencing everything from marriage prospects to business deals. The memory of your actions was not just personal, it was shared and preserved by the entire community. Because reputation was so important, every action had weight. People thought carefully before making decisions, knowing that their choices would be remembered and judged. This system encouraged honesty, cooperation, and trust. If you helped a neighbor, others would hear about it and treat you with respect. If you cheated or lied, you risked being excluded from the group. Social memory was a powerful force, shaping not just individual behavior but the values of the entire community. Fast forward to the present, and the landscape looks very different. In large cities and especially online, anonymity is common. People interact with strangers every day, often without any lasting connection. Online, you can create new identities or hide behind a screen name. This detachment from real-world consequences changes how we behave. Without the pressure of reputation, people may act in ways they never would in face-to-face settings. The social memory that once kept us in check has faded. And actions are no longer tied to our real-world identities, the consequences change. People might say or do things online that they would never consider in person. This detachment can lead to both positive and negative outcomes. On one hand, it allows for freedom of expression and exploration. On the other, it can encourage harmful behavior, since there's little risk of lasting damage to one's reputation. The link between action and memory has been weakened. This new environment is a playground for marketers. Without strong social memory, brands and influencers can reinvent themselves constantly. Marketing thrives in this vacuum, using data and algorithms to target individuals with personalized messages. There's less accountability for misleading claims or manipulative tactics because the connection between brand and reputation is weaker. The focus shifts from building trust to capturing attention, often at any cost. The decline of social memory, manipulation becomes easier. Companies and individuals can make bold promises or spread misinformation, knowing that people are less likely to remember or hold them accountable. This creates a cycle where influence is gained quickly but trust is easily lost. The absence of lasting reputation means that the same mistakes can be repeated, with little consequence for those responsible. The past, trust was built through personal relationships and shared experiences. Today, algorithms have taken over much of this role. Platforms use complex systems to decide what we see, who we connect with, and even what we believe. These algorithms are designed to maximize engagement, not necessarily to foster trust or honesty. As a result, our social networks are shaped less by genuine relationships and more by invisible code. Algorithms replace human judgment. The moral checks and balances that once guided our actions can weaken. In a world where your actions are not remembered or judged by your peers, it's easier to make choices that benefit yourself at the expense of others. The invisible hand of the algorithm rewards attention and engagement, not necessarily ethical behavior. This shift can erode the sense of responsibility that comes from being part of a community with a shared memory. At the same time, algorithms can amplify influence. By analyzing vast amounts of data, they can identify trends, predict behavior, and shape opinions on a massive scale. This gives unprecedented power to those who control the algorithms, allowing them to steer conversations and even sway elections. The traditional gatekeepers of trust, family, friends, and community leaders, are replaced by automated systems that operate behind the scene. As social memory fades, our ability to learn from the past is diminished. Mistakes are repeated and valuable lessons are forgotten. Without a shared sense of history, it becomes harder to build lasting trust or hold people accountable. The stories that once united communities are replaced by fleeting trends and viral moments, quickly forgotten as the next wave of content arrives. The digital world, identity is more fluid than ever. People can create multiple profiles, experiment with different personas, and reinvent themselves at will. While this can be empowering, it also makes it harder to build genuine relationships. Without a stable identity, trust is difficult to establish and maintain. The lines between reality and performance blur, and authenticity becomes a rare commodity. Reputation less important and memory short-lived, people and organizations are incentivized to focus on immediate gains. The pressure to go viral or capture attention in the moment outweighs the benefits of building a lasting legacy. This short-term mindset can lead to risky behavior, as the consequences are often minimal or quickly forgotten. The long view, once essential for survival, is now overshadowed by the pursuit of instant gratification. Trust networks have evolved dramatically. In the past, trust was built slowly through repeated interactions and shared experiences. Today, trust is often outsourced to platforms and algorithms. We rely on ratings, reviews, and automated recommendations to guide our choices. While this can be efficient, it also introduces new risks, as these systems can be manipulated or biased in ways that are hard to detect. Algorithms are not neutral. They are designed by people with specific goals, often to maximize profit or engagement. This means they can be used to manipulate behavior in subtle and powerful ways. From targeted ads to personalized news feeds, algorithms shape what we see and how we think. The lack of transparency makes it difficult to know when we are being influenced and by whom. And actions are anonymous and memory is short, accountability suffers. People and organizations can act irresponsibly with little fear of consequences. This can lead to a breakdown in trust as promises are broken and mistakes go unpunished. The systems that once enforced accountability, reputation, memory, and community are weakened in the digital age. Data is the new currency of influence. Every click, like, and share is tracked and analyzed, creating detailed profiles that can be used to predict and shape behavior. This data-driven approach allows for unprecedented personalization, but it also raises concerns about privacy and control. Who owns your data and how is it being used? These questions are central to understanding the new dynamics of trust and memory. Algorithms often reinforce our existing beliefs by showing us content that aligns with our preferences. This creates echo chambers and filter bubbles where dissenting views are rarely encountered. As a result, our perspectives can become narrower and our ability to empathize with others is diminished. The diversity of thought that once came from broad social networks is replaced by algorithmic curation. In a world driven by algorithms and short attention spans, nuance is often lost. Complex issues are reduced to sound bites and headlines, making it harder to have meaningful conversations. The depth of understanding that comes from shared memory and experience is replaced by quick judgments and snap reactions. This can lead to misunderstandings and conflict, as subtlety is sacrificed for simplicity. Viral content spreads rapidly, often without context or verification. This can amplify misinformation and make it difficult to separate fact from fiction. The speed at which information travels means that mistakes can go viral before they are corrected, and the memory of the original error may linger long after the truth emerges. Viral culture rewards attention, not accuracy. Trust online is fragile and easily broken. A single scandal or mistake can destroy a reputation overnight, while positive actions are quickly forgotten. The lack of lasting social memory means that trust must be constantly rebuilt, often from scratch. This creates a volatile environment where relationships are shallow and loyalty is rare. Despite these challenges, communities still play a vital role in shaping behavior and memory. Online groups can provide support, accountability, and a sense of belonging. However, the nature of these communities is different from the past. They are often more transient and less rooted in shared history, making it harder to build lasting trust. Social media gives the impression of constant connection, but these relationships are often superficial. Likes, comments, and shares can create a sense of belonging, but they rarely translate into deep or lasting bonds. The illusion of connection can mask feelings of isolation and loneliness, as real-world interactions are replaced by digital exchanges. Authenticity is harder to achieve in a world of curated profiles and algorithmic feeds. People feel pressure to present an idealized version of themselves, hiding flaws and vulnerabilities. This can create a disconnect between our online personas and our true selves, making it difficult to form genuine connections. As interactions become more anonymous and transactional, empathy can decline. It's easier to dismiss or attack someone when you don't see them as a real person. The lack of face-to-face contact and shared memory makes it harder to understand and care about others' experiences. This can lead to increased conflict and polarization. Disinformation spreads quickly in the absence of strong social memory. Without trusted sources and lasting reputations, it's hard to know what to believe. Algorithms can amplify falsehoods, making it even more difficult to separate truth from fiction. The consequences of misinformation can be serious, affecting everything from elections to public health. Attention has become a valuable commodity. Platforms and advertisers compete for our focus, using every trick in the book to keep us engaged. This constant battle for attention can be exhausting, and it often comes at the expense of deeper, more meaningful experiences. The pursuit of clicks and views replaces the pursuit of understanding and connection. Shared values once formed the foundation of strong communities. Today, the fragmentation of social networks and the rise of personalized content make it harder to find common ground. People are exposed to different realities, shaped by algorithms that reinforce their existing beliefs. This can lead to division and misunderstanding, as the sense of a shared moral framework erodes. Memory plays a crucial role in shaping our sense of right and wrong. When we remember the consequences of our actions, we are more likely to act ethically. The decline of social memory weakens this connection, making it easier to justify questionable behavior. Without a shared sense of history, moral restraint is harder to maintain. Relationships are affected by the decline of social memory and the rise of algorithms. Trust is harder to build and easier to lose. Misunderstandings are more common, and the bonds that once held communities together are weakened. The challenge is to find new ways to foster connection and accountability in a world where memory is fleeting. In a world of constant change and fleeting memory, people search for meaning and belonging. Some turn to online communities while others seek out real-world connections. The challenge is to balance the benefits of technology with the need for lasting relationships and shared values. Finding meaning requires more than just information. It requires memory, trust, and a sense of purpose. Accountability is essential for healthy societies. When people know their actions will be remembered and judged, they are more likely to act responsibly. The decline of social memory makes accountability harder to enforce, but it remains a crucial goal. New systems and norms are needed to ensure that actions have consequences, even in the digital age. Building trust in the digital world is a complex challenge. It requires transparency, consistency, and a commitment to honesty. Platforms can help by promoting accurate information and holding bad actors accountable. Individuals can contribute by being mindful of their actions and building genuine relationships. Trust is fragile, but it can be restored with effort and intention. Education can help us navigate the challenges of the digital age. By teaching critical thinking, media literacy, and ethical decision-making, we can empower people to make better choices. Understanding how algorithms work and how memory shapes behavior is essential for building a more trustworthy and accountable society. Technology can be designed to support social memory rather than undermine it. Features like transparent histories, reputation systems, and long-term profiles can help restore accountability. By making actions visible and memorable, platforms can encourage more responsible behavior and foster lasting trust. The future of social memory will depend on the choices we make today. Will we continue down the path of anonymity and short-term thinking, or will we find ways to restore accountability and trust? The answer will shape not just our online interactions, but the very fabric of society. By understanding the forces at play, we can work towards a future where memory, trust, and responsibility are valued once again. Privacy is important, but so is accountability. Striking the right balance is a major challenge in the digital age. Too much anonymity can erode trust, while too little privacy can stifle freedom. Finding solutions that respect both values will be key to building healthier online communities and preserving social memory. Online platforms have a significant role to play in shaping social memory. By setting rules, enforcing standards, and designing features that promote accountability, they can help restore trust. However, this responsibility comes with challenges, including the risk of censorship and the need to respect user privacy. The choices platforms make will have lasting impacts on how we remember and relate to each other. Ultimately, each of us has a role to play in preserving social memory. By acting with integrity, being mindful of our digital footprints, and holding ourselves accountable, we can help build a more trustworthy world. Personal responsibility is the foundation of lasting relationships and strong communities, both online and offline. History offers valuable lessons about the importance of memory and reputation. By studying how past societies maintain trust and accountability, we can find inspiration for the future. The tools may have changed, but the need for social memory remains as strong as ever. Let's learn from the past to build a better tomorrow. Storytelling has always been a way to preserve memory and transmit values. In the digital age, stories can reach wider audiences than ever before, but they can also be lost in the noise. By telling meaningful stories and sharing experiences, we can help rebuild the collective memory that binds us together. Resilient communities are built on trust, memory, and shared values. By fostering open communication, encouraging accountability, and supporting each other, we can create environments where people feel safe and valued. These communities are better equipped to withstand challenges and adapt to change. Restoring social memory will require effort from individuals, communities, and platforms alike. By valuing transparency, encouraging honesty, and remembering the lessons of the past, we can rebuild the trust that has been lost. Social memory is not just about remembering facts, it's about preserving the connections that make us human. Death of social memory is not inevitable. By recognizing the challenges and taking proactive steps, we can shape a future where reputation, trust, and accountability matter once again. It's up to all of us to decide what kind of society we want to build and to take responsibility for making it a reality. As we've seen, the journey from reputation to algorithms has transformed the way we remember, trust, and relate to each other. While technology offers many benefits, it also poses serious challenges to social memory and accountability. By understanding these changes and working together, we can ensure that memory, trust, and responsibility remain at the heart of our communities, both online and offline. At the heart of our attention lies the dopamine system. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that evolved to help us seek out rewards, like food, new information, or novel experiences. This system is designed for intermittent rewards, meaning we're wired to keep searching and exploring, never quite sure when the next reward will come. This uncertainty keeps us engaged and motivated, a trait that was essential for survival in unpredictable environments. But in the digital age, this ancient system is being hijacked in ways our ancestors could never have imagined. Intermittent rewards are powerful motivators. Imagine foraging for berries. Not every bush is fruit, but the possibility keeps you searching. This same principle applies to modern technology. Social media notifications, email alerts, and endless content feeds all deliver rewards at unpredictable intervals. Each ping or update offers a chance for something new or exciting, triggering a burst of dopamine. This keeps us coming back, often without realizing how much time and energy we're spending in these digital environments. Marketing professionals have become experts at leveraging our dopamine-driven behaviors. By engineering environments filled with variable rewards, like surprise discounts, viral content, or personalized ads, they keep us engaged and wanting more. These tactics are not accidental, they're carefully crafted to maximize the time we spend interacting with brands and platforms. As a result, our attention is constantly being pulled in multiple directions, making it harder to focus or feel satisfied. One of the most noticeable effects of these marketing strategies is fragmented attention. With so many notifications, ads, and content streams vying for our focus, it becomes difficult to concentrate on a single task. Our brains are constantly switching between stimuli, which can lead to mental fatigue and decreased productivity. Over time, this fragmentation can make it harder to engage deeply with anything, whether it's work, relationships, or hobbies. As our attention becomes more fragmented, we may notice an increase in addictive behaviors. The endless cycle of checking notifications, scrolling through feeds, or chasing the next reward can create habits that are hard to break. These behaviors are reinforced by the same dopamine-driven mechanisms that once helped us survive. Now they keep us tethered to our devices, often at the expense of our well-being. Ironically, the more we chase these digital rewards, the less satisfied we often feel. The constant barrage of stimuli can dull our senses, making it harder to experience genuine pleasure or fulfillment. Instead of feeling content, we're left wanting more, always searching for the next hit of novelty or excitement. This decline in satisfaction is a direct result of the way our reward systems are manipulated by modern marketing. We now live in what's called the attention economy. Here, our focus is the most valuable resource, bought and sold by companies seeking to capture as much of it as possible. Every notification, ad, and content loop is designed to keep us engaged, turning our attention into profit. Understanding this economy helps explain why it's so difficult to disconnect and why our attention feels so fragmented. Many of the apps we use every day are built around variable rewards. Whether it's a social media like a new follower or a surprise sale, these unpredictable rewards keep us coming back. App designers use data and psychology to fine-tune these experiences, ensuring that we never know exactly when the next reward will appear. This uncertainty is what makes these platforms so compelling and so hard to put down. Intent loops are another powerful tool in the marketer's arsenal. Think of endless scrolling feeds, autoplay videos, or recommended content that never stops. These loops are designed to keep us engaged for as long as possible, offering a steady stream of new and interesting material. The more we consume, the more the system learns about our preferences, making the loop even harder to escape. Notifications are carefully crafted triggers that prompt us to re-engage with apps and platforms. Each buzz or alert is a call to action, designed to interrupt whatever we're doing and redirect our attention. Over time, we become conditioned to respond instantly, making it even harder to ignore these digital cues. This constant interruption fragments our attention and reinforces addictive patterns. Advertising has evolved far beyond simple banners or commercials. Today's ads are highly personalized, using data about our preferences, behaviors, and even emotions to target us with messages that are almost impossible to ignore. This level of personalization increases the effectiveness of ads, making them more likely to capture and hold our attention. Behind every successful marketing campaign is a deep understanding of human psychology. Marketers use insights from neuroscience and behavioral science to design experiences that maximize engagement. By tapping into our reward systems, they create environments that are not just appealing but addictive. This science-driven approach is what makes modern marketing so effective and so difficult to resist. While these marketing tactics are effective, they come at a cost. Constant distraction can lead to stress, anxiety, and a sense of being overwhelmed. When our attention is pulled in too many directions, it becomes difficult to find peace or satisfaction. Over time, this can impact our mental health, relationships, and overall quality of life. With so many options available, it can feel like we're in control of our attention. But in reality, our choices are often shaped by algorithms and marketing strategies designed to steer us in specific directions. This illusion of choice makes it even harder to recognize when our attention is being manipulated. Every interaction we have with digital platforms creates data. This data is used to refine algorithms, making future experiences even more engaging and more difficult to resist. This feedback loop ensures that the system gets better at capturing our attention over time, creating a cycle that's hard to break. Social media platforms exploit our need for social validation. Likes, comments, and shares serve as intermittent rewards, giving us a sense of belonging and approval. This taps into deep-seated psychological needs, making it even more difficult to disengage from these platforms. Novelty is another key driver of attention. Our brains are wired to seek out new and interesting experiences which once helped us learn and adapt. Today, marketers use novelty to keep us engaged, constantly offering new content, features, or products to maintain our interest. Scarcity is a classic marketing tactic that leverages our fear of missing out. Limited time offers, exclusive deals, and countdown timers all create a sense of urgency, prompting us to act quickly. This taps into our reward systems, making us more likely to pay attention and engage. Gamification applies game-like elements to non-game contexts, making experiences more engaging and rewarding. Points, badges, and leaderboards are used to motivate us, tapping into our competitive instincts and desire for achievement. These techniques are widely used in marketing to keep us coming back for more. Personalized content is tailored to our interests, making it more likely to capture our attention. Algorithms analyze our behavior to deliver articles, videos, and ads that match our preferences. This increases engagement but also narrows our exposure to new ideas, creating echo chambers. Endless scroll is a design feature that removes stopping cues, allowing us to consume content without interruption. This makes it easy to lose track of time and attention as there's always something new to see. Marketers use this technique to maximize engagement and keep us on their platforms. Push attention refers to external triggers like notifications or ads that demand our focus. Pull attention, on the other hand, is when we actively seek out information or experiences. Marketing strategies increasingly rely on push tactics, making it harder for us to control where our attention goes. Algorithms play a central role in shaping our digital experiences. They determine what content we see when we see it and how often we're prompted to engage. By optimizing for engagement, algorithms ensure that our attention is constantly being captured and monetized. Emotions are powerful drivers of attention. Marketers use emotional triggers like fear, excitement, or joy to capture our focus and motivate action. Emotional content is more likely to be shared and remembered, making it a key tool in the marketer's toolkit. Habit loops are formed when a cue triggers a routine, which is then rewarded. Over time, these loops become automatic, making it difficult to change our behaviors. Marketers design experiences that create and reinforce these habit loops, ensuring that we keep coming back. With so many demands on our attention, it's easy to become fatigued. Attention fatigue makes it harder to concentrate, remember information, or make decisions. This can lead to mistakes, frustration, and a sense of being overwhelmed by the digital world. Boredom once served an important function, prompting us to explore, create, or reflect. Today, constant stimulation leaves little room for boredom, making it harder to develop patience or creativity. Marketing strategies fill every moment with content, reducing opportunities for rest and reflection. Deep work requires sustained focus and minimal distractions. In an environment filled with notifications and variable rewards, deep work becomes increasingly difficult. This impacts our ability to learn, create, and solve complex problems, limiting our potential. Multitasking is often seen as a valuable skill, but it actually reduces efficiency and increases errors. Marketing environments encourage multitasking by presenting multiple streams of information at once. This divides our attention and makes it harder to complete tasks effectively. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment. It can help counteract the effects of fragmented attention by promoting focus and awareness. Practicing mindfulness can make it easier to resist marketing traps and regain control over our attention. A digital detox involves taking a break from screens and digital content. This can help reset our reward systems and reduce the grip of marketing-driven habits. Even short breaks can improve focus, mood, and overall well-being. Setting boundaries around technology use is essential for protecting our attention. This might mean turning off notifications, limiting screen time, or creating tech-free zones. Boundaries help us reclaim our focus and reduce the influence of marketing tactics. Reclaiming our attention requires conscious effort. By understanding how marketing hijacks our reward systems, we can make more intentional choices about where we focus. This might involve changing habits, seeking out meaningful experiences, or simply being more aware of how our attention is being used. Rest is essential for maintaining healthy attention. Taking breaks, getting enough sleep, and allowing time for reflection can help restore our ability to focus. Marketing environments often discourage rest, but prioritizing downtime is crucial for well-being. Building healthy habits around technology use can help protect our attention. This might include setting specific times for checking emails, using apps that limit distractions, or practicing mindfulness. Small changes can make a big difference in how we experience the digital world. Education is key to understanding how marketing affects our attention. By learning about the science of reward systems and the tactics used by marketers, we can make more informed choices. Sharing this knowledge can empower others to take control of their attention as well. Support from friends, family, and communities can make it easier to resist marketing traps. By encouraging healthy habits and sharing strategies, we can create environments that value attention and well-being over constant engagement. Some companies are beginning to design products and platforms with well-being in mind. Features like screen time limits, focus modes, and mindful notifications can help users maintain control over their attention. These changes show that it's possible to create digital environments that support, rather than exploit, our reward systems. As technology continues to evolve, the battle for our attention will only intensify. Understanding the forces at play can help us navigate this landscape more effectively. By prioritizing well-being and making intentional choices, we can shape a future where our attention is valued and protected. Summarize, our attention is a valuable resource that's actively hunted by marketers and digital platforms. By understanding how our reward systems work and how they're exploited, we can take steps to protect our focus and well-being. Small changes in habits, boundaries, and awareness can make a big difference in how we experience the digital world. Take a moment to reflect on your own attention habits. How often do you find yourself pulled into content loops or distracted by notifications? Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward making positive changes and reclaiming your focus. Now that you understand how marketing hijacks the reward system, consider what actions you can take to protect your attention. Whether it's setting boundaries, practicing mindfulness, or supporting others, every step counts. The more intentional we are, the more control we have over our digital lives. Reframing attention as a hunted resource changes how we interact with technology and marketing. By seeing ourselves as active participants, rather than passive prey, we can make choices that support our well-being. This new perspective empowers us to navigate the digital world with greater awareness and intention. Thank you for joining this journey into the world of attention and marketing. By understanding the science behind our reward systems and the tactics used to capture our focus, we can make more informed choices. Remember, your attention is valuable. Protect it, nurture it, and use it wisely. Our evolutionary past, choice was a matter of life and death. Early humans needed to choose the safest shelter, the most nutritious food, and the best allies. More options meant a greater chance of survival. Our brains evolved to value choice as a way to adapt and thrive. But as society advanced, the number of choices exploded far beyond what our ancestors could have imagined. This shift set the stage for a new kind of challenge, one our minds weren't fully prepared for. Today, we're surrounded by abundance. Supermarkets offer hundreds of cereal brands, online stores present endless products, and dating apps provide a seemingly infinite pool of potential partners. While this abundance should make us happier, research shows it often has the opposite effect. Instead of feeling empowered, we're left anxious and unsure, constantly second-guessing our decisions. Why does having more options make us feel worse? Marketing tells us that more choice equals more freedom. Advertisements show us happy people picking from endless varieties, suggesting that satisfaction is just one more purchase away. But in reality, this promise often falls flat. The more options we have, the harder it becomes to choose and the less satisfied we feel with our decisions. Marketers know how to exploit our desire for freedom, but the result is often paralysis, not happiness. Faced with too many choices, our brains can freeze. This is known as decision paralysis. Instead of making a quick, confident choice, we hesitate, worry about making the wrong decision, and sometimes avoid choosing altogether. This paralysis is especially common in situations where the stakes feel high, like choosing a career path or a romantic partner. The fear of missing out on a better option can be crippling. After making a choice, we often wonder if we made the right one. With so many alternatives, it's easy to imagine that another option would have been better. This leads to regret, a powerful emotion that can diminish our satisfaction even after we've made a good choice. The more options we consider, the more likely we are to feel regret, and the less content we become with our decisions. Brains evolved to handle a limited set of choices. When faced with just a few options, we can weigh the pros and cons and make a decision quickly. But in today's world, the sheer volume of choices overwhelms these ancient systems. We struggle to process all the information, leading to stress and indecision. This mismatch between our evolved minds and modern abundance is at the heart of the choice paradox. With more choices, our expectations rise. We start to believe that the perfect option is out there waiting to be discovered. But perfection is rarely attainable. When reality falls short of our high expectations, disappointment sets in. Ironically, having fewer choices can actually make us happier because we're more likely to appreciate what we have and less likely to dwell on what we might be missing. Unlimited choice creates the illusion of freedom. We believe that with enough options we can craft the perfect life. But this freedom is often superficial. True freedom comes from meaningful choices, not endless ones. When every decision feels weighty and uncertain, our sense of autonomy can actually decrease. The abundance of choice can trap us in a cycle of indecision and dissatisfaction. Think about your daily routine. From the moment you wake up, you're faced with choices: what to wear, what to eat, how to get to work. Each decision, no matter how small, takes mental energy. When the number of choices piles up, we experience decision fatigue. This can make us irritable, less productive, and more likely to make poor decisions later in the day. Decision isn't just frustrating, it has real costs. When we can't make up our minds, we miss opportunities, waste time, and sometimes lose out on the best options altogether. Indecision can also strain relationships as others become frustrated with our inability to commit. Over time, chronic indecision can erode our confidence and sense of self. Regret is a natural response to missed opportunities. When we have many choices, the potential for regret increases. We imagine how things could have turned out differently if we'd chosen another path. This mental comparison can sap our happiness and make it harder to move forward. Learning to accept our choices, even when they're imperfect, is key to finding satisfaction. Let's shift our focus to romance and intimacy. In today's world, even our most personal relationships are shaped by the logic of choice and abundance. Dating apps and beauty markets turn attraction into a marketplace where desire is bought and sold. This commodification of intimacy changes how we connect with others, making relationships feel both abundant and unstable. Evolutionary psychology helps explain why we're drawn to certain traits in partners. In the past, these preferences helped us find mates who could provide resources, protection, or healthy offspring. Today, these same instincts are amplified by modern media and advertising, which bombard us with images of idealized beauty and success. The result is a disconnect between genuine connection and surface-level attraction. Dating apps promise endless possibilities. With a swipe, we can meet someone new anywhere, anytime. But this abundance of choice can make it harder to form lasting bonds. When options are limitless, commitment feels risky and we're tempted to keep searching for someone better. The result is a dating culture that's rich in opportunity but poor in stability. Beauty industry thrives on our desire to be chosen. Products and services promise to enhance our attractiveness, making us more desirable in the dating marketplace. But as beauty becomes a commodity, genuine connection can be overshadowed by surface-level appeal. The pressure to look perfect can also fuel insecurity and dissatisfaction. In the past, desire and bonding went hand in hand. Attraction led to commitment, which helped ensure the survival of offspring. Today, desire is often detached from long-term bonding. The pursuit of pleasure can take precedence over building lasting relationships, leaving many people feeling unfulfilled despite abundant opportunities for connection. Modern dating often feels transactional. People assess each other's value based on looks, status, or other measurable traits. This approach can make relationships feel like business deals rather than emotional connections. While this system offers efficiency, it can also leave us feeling disconnected and unsatisfied. Algorithms now play a major role in how we meet and choose partners. Instead of relying on friends or family to introduce us, we trust digital platforms to filter potential matches. While this can expand our options, it also removes the social vetting that once helped ensure compatibility and trust. The result is a dating landscape that's both broader and less stable. Modern media and dating platforms amplify sexual cues. Profiles highlight physical appearance and images are carefully curated to attract attention. This focus on surface-level traits can overshadow deeper qualities like kindness or reliability. As a result, relationships may start quickly but struggle to develop lasting depth. While sexual attraction is emphasized, cues for commitment are often downplayed. In the past, signs of loyalty and reliability were crucial for building trust. Today, these qualities can be harder to spot in a sea of profiles and fleeting interactions. This erosion of commitment cues makes it more challenging to form stable, lasting relationships. So many options available, relationships can feel both abundant and unstable. The ease of finding new partners makes it tempting to move on at the first sign of trouble. This abundance can undermine the sense of security and commitment that's essential for deep connection. Many people find themselves caught between the excitement of new possibilities and the longing for lasting intimacy. In a world of infinite choice, finding meaning becomes more important than ever. Whether we're choosing a career, a partner, or a lifestyle, the search for purpose can help guide our decisions. Focusing on what truly matters to us rather than chasing every new possibility can bring greater satisfaction and peace. Sometimes having fewer choices can be liberating. Constraints force us to focus, make decisions more manageable, and help us appreciate what we have. By setting boundaries, whether in relationships, work, or daily life, we can reduce anxiety and increase satisfaction. Embracing limits can be a powerful antidote to the overwhelm of abundance. Being intentional about our choices can help us navigate abundance. Instead of reacting to every new option, we can clarify our values and priorities. This approach makes it easier to say no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. Intentional decision-making leads to greater satisfaction and less regret. Gratitude can counteract the dissatisfaction that comes from too many choices. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can increase our sense of contentment. Practicing gratitude helps us appreciate our decisions and reduces the urge to constantly seek something better. In relationships, depth matters more than breadth. Building deeper connections requires time, effort, and vulnerability. Instead of chasing endless options, investing in a few meaningful relationships can bring greater fulfillment. Quality, not quantity, is the key to lasting intimacy. Success is often defined by having more choices, more achievements, more possessions, but true success may lie in knowing what's enough. By redefining success in terms of satisfaction and well-being, we can escape the trap of endless striving and find greater peace. Mindful consumption means being aware of why we choose what we do. Are we buying or choosing out of genuine need, or simply reacting to marketing and social pressure? By becoming more mindful, we can make choices that align with our values and bring real satisfaction. No choice is perfect. Accepting imperfection can free us from the endless search for the best option. By embracing the flaws and limitations of our decisions, we can find peace and satisfaction in the present moment. Commitment brings stability and meaning to our lives. Whether in relationships, work, or personal goals, sticking with a decision can lead to deeper satisfaction. Commitment helps us weather challenges and build lasting connections even when other options are available. Uncertainty is a natural part of life, especially when choices are abundant. Learning to tolerate uncertainty can help us make decisions with confidence, even when outcomes are unclear. By accepting that we can't predict everything, we become more resilient and adaptable. Community can help us navigate the challenges of choice. Friends, family, and mentors offer support, perspective, and guidance. By sharing our experiences and seeking advice, we can make better decisions and feel less alone in the face of abundance. Mistakes are inevitable when making choices. Instead of fearing failure, we can view mistakes as opportunities for growth. Each decision, right or wrong, teaches us something valuable. By learning from our experiences, we become wiser and more confident in our future choices. Perfectionism can make decision-making even harder. When we demand the best in every situation, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Letting go of perfectionism allows us to make choices more freely and enjoy the results, even if they're not flawless. Taking time to reflect on our choices helps us understand what truly matters. Reflection allows us to learn from our decisions, appreciate our progress, and adjust our path as needed. Regular reflection can increase satisfaction and reduce the anxiety that comes from too many options. Simplicity can be a source of joy. By reducing the number of choices we face, we can focus on what truly brings us happiness. Simple routines, meaningful relationships, and clear goals can help us find contentment in a world of abundance. Setting limits is a wise strategy in a world of endless options. Limits help us conserve energy, reduce stress, and make better decisions. By choosing to limit our options, we can create space for deeper satisfaction and personal growth. Contentment comes from appreciating what we have, rather than constantly seeking more. By focusing on the present and valuing our current choices, we can find peace and satisfaction. Cultivating contentment is a lifelong practice that can help us thrive in a world of abundance. Our values are a compass that guide our decisions. When we're clear about what matters most, we can navigate abundance with confidence. Aligning our choices with our values brings greater satisfaction and helps us avoid the pitfalls of endless options. Uncertainty is unavoidable, especially when choices are limitless. Accepting uncertainty allows us to move forward without fear. By embracing the unknown, we open ourselves to new experiences and possibilities, even if the outcome isn't guaranteed. Committing to a choice can bring unexpected joy. When we invest in a decision, whether it's a relationship, a job, or a hobby, we create meaning and purpose. Commitment transforms abundance into fulfillment, turning endless options into a source of happiness. Finding the right balance between freedom and stability is key to satisfaction. Too much freedom can lead to anxiety, while too much stability can feel restrictive. By balancing exploration with commitment, we can enjoy the best of both worlds. Confidence in our choices comes from self-knowledge and experience. By learning from the past and trusting ourselves, we can make decisions with greater ease. Moving forward with confidence allows us to embrace abundance without being overwhelmed. In a world of infinite choice, true satisfaction comes from knowing ourselves, setting boundaries, and focusing on what matters most. By embracing limits, practicing gratitude, and building deeper connections, we can turn abundance into a source of joy rather than anxiety. Remember, happiness isn't about having every option. It's about making choices that align with our values and bring meaning to our lives. Start by looking at the roots of identity. For most of human history, identity was closely tied to what you did for your family or tribe. Your skills, your work, and your relationships defined you. But as societies grew and markets expanded, the focus shifted. Now what you buy and display often says more about you than what you do. This change didn't happen overnight, but it's reshaped how we think about ourselves and others. Marketing plays a powerful role in this transformation. Advertisers don't just sell products, they sell lifestyles, aspirations, and even personalities. When you see an ad for a phone or a pair of shoes, it's not just about the item. It's about the kind of person you become by owning it. This subtle messaging encourages us to define ourselves through our purchases, making consumption a central part of our identity. Take clothing, for example. What we wear has always signaled something about us, but today brands and styles are used to project specific identities. Are you sporty, artistic, or professional? Your wardrobe can communicate this before you even speak. Fashion marketing taps into our desire to belong or stand out, making clothing a key scaffold for modern identity. Technology is another powerful identity marker. The phone you use, the laptop you carry, or the apps you prefer can all signal your values and status. Tech companies understand this and design products that appeal not just to needs but to aspirations. Owning the latest device can feel like a statement about who you are and where you fit in the world. Even politics has become part of our consumer identity. Political beliefs are now often expressed through merchandise, social media, and lifestyle choices. Supporting a cause or a candidate can be as much about signaling identity as about actual beliefs. This blending of politics and consumption further blurs the line between who we are and what we buy. Brands don't just sell products, they sell entire lifestyles. Whether it's a fitness brand promoting a healthy, active life or a tech company promising innovation and creativity, these messages invite us to adopt an identity that aligns with their image. The result is that our sense of self becomes increasingly tied to the brands we choose. When we let markets shape our identity, we outsource a deeply personal process. Instead of building identity through experience and relationships, we rely on external symbols and products. This can create a sense of instability, as our self-image depends on things outside our control. The more we look to consumption for meaning, the more fragile our sense of self can become. One consequence of this shift is increased anxiety. When identity is tied to what we own or display, there's constant pressure to keep up. New trends, products, and social expectations can make us feel inadequate or left behind. This anxiety isn't just about missing out, it's about feeling like we don't measure up as people. Burnout is another psychological cost. Social media and advertising constantly expose us to curated images of success and happiness. Trying to match these ideals can be exhausting. The effort to maintain a market-driven identity leaves little room for rest or authenticity, leading to emotional and mental fatigue. Despite being more connected than ever, many people feel lonely. When relationships are based on shared consumption rather than shared experience, they can lack depth. The market encourages surface-level connections, bonding over brands or trends, rather than genuine understanding and support. Even as material comfort increases, many people report feeling less fulfilled. When identity is built on consumption, satisfaction is always temporary. There's always a new product, a new trend, or a new standard to chase. This endless pursuit can leave us feeling empty, as if something important is missing from our lives. It's a paradox. As our lives become more comfortable, our sense of meaning often declines. Modern conveniences make life easier, but they also distance us from the effort and impact that once gave life purpose. The result is a strange mix of abundance and hollowness, a feeling that something essential has been lost. Humans evolved in environments where effort was directly tied to visible results. Whether hunting, building, or caring for others, our ancestors saw the impact of their actions. This connection between effort and outcome was deeply satisfying. Today, much of our work and consumption is abstract, with delayed or symbolic rewards making it harder to feel truly fulfilled. In today's world, most labor is removed from its tangible outcomes. Office work, digital tasks, and service jobs often produce results we can't see or touch. This disconnect can make it hard to find meaning in our daily efforts, contributing to the sense of hollowness that many people feel. Consumption today is often symbolic. We buy things not just for their function but for what they represent. A car might symbolize freedom, a watch might signal success, and a phone might express creativity. These symbols become part of our identity, but they can never fully satisfy our deeper needs for meaning and connection. As more of our lives move online and into the marketplace, experiences can become hollow. Instead of savoring moments, we may focus on capturing and sharing them, or on acquiring the right products to enhance them. This shift can make even joyful experiences feel less real or meaningful. It's important to distinguish between comfort and fulfillment. Comfort is about ease and convenience, while fulfillment comes from purpose and connection. Modern life offers more comfort than ever, but often at the expense of the deeper satisfaction that comes from meaningful effort and relationships. Our environment is increasingly engineered to capture our attention and shape our desires. From targeted ads to algorithm-driven feeds, we are constantly nudged toward certain choices. This engineered world makes it harder to develop an authentic identity, as our preferences are subtly manipulated by forces we barely notice. Many of the platforms and products we use are designed to be addictive. Features like notifications, likes, and endless scrolling keep us engaged but also distracted. This constant stimulation can erode our ability to focus and reflect, making it even harder to build a stable sense of self. When our choices are shaped by invisible forces, we lose a sense of agency. Agency is the feeling that we are in control of our actions and decisions. Without it, life can feel passive and unsatisfying. Regaining agency is crucial for rebuilding a healthy identity in a world designed to influence us. Recognizing how our environment shapes us is the first step to escaping the trap. By understanding the mechanisms of manipulation, we can start to make more conscious choices. This awareness is empowering. It allows us to reclaim some control over our identity and our lives. Reclaiming agency doesn't mean rejecting modern life. Instead, it's about making intentional decisions and resisting automatic responses. By being mindful of how we spend our time and attention, we can start to rebuild a sense of self that isn't dictated by the market. One way to resist market-driven identity is to focus on small-scale relationships. Family, friends, and local communities offer opportunities for genuine connection and shared experience. These relationships are built on trust and mutual support, not on shared consumption. Another strategy is to limit exposure to environments designed to manipulate us. This might mean reducing time on social media, avoiding certain types of advertising, or being selective about the media we consume. By curating our environment, we can protect our attention and our sense of self. Attention is one of our most valuable resources. By reclaiming it from distractions and manipulative platforms, we can invest it in activities that truly matter. This might include creative work, meaningful conversations, or simply spending time in nature. The more intentional we are with our attention, the more authentic our identity becomes. Instead of relying on symbols or products, we can ground our identity in action. What we do, how we help others, create, or contribute can become the foundation of who we are. This approach reconnects us with the satisfaction that comes from effort and impact rather than appearance or status. Real connections are built on shared experiences, vulnerability, and trust. By investing in relationships that go beyond shared consumption, we can create a support network that strengthens our sense of self. These connections provide meaning and resilience in a world that often feels fragmented. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for resisting manipulation. By paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and habits, we can notice when we're being influenced by external forces. This awareness helps us make choices that align with our true values rather than those imposed by the market. Success doesn't have to mean owning the latest products or following every trend. By redefining success in terms of growth, contribution, and well-being, we can resist the pressure to measure ourselves by market standards. This shift allows us to pursue goals that are truly meaningful to us. The market often promotes perfection, perfect looks, perfect lives, perfect products. Embracing imperfection is a way to reclaim our humanity. By accepting flaws and setbacks, we can build resilience and self-acceptance, freeing ourselves from the constant pressure to perform. Gratitude helps counteract the dissatisfaction that comes from endless consumption. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can find contentment and joy in everyday life. This mindset shift supports a healthier, more stable sense of identity. Meaningful work is about more than a paycheck or status. It's about making a difference, learning, and growing. By seeking out work that aligns with our values and interests, we can build a sense of identity that is both authentic and fulfilling. Creativity is a powerful way to express identity. Whether through art, music, writing, or problem-solving, creative acts allow us to explore and communicate who we are. This self-expression is deeply satisfying and can't be bought or sold. Continuous learning and personal growth are essential for a resilient identity. By challenging ourselves and embracing new experiences, we expand our sense of self beyond what the market offers. Growth is a lifelong journey that brings meaning and satisfaction. Helping others is a timeless source of meaning. Acts of service, whether big or small, connect us to our communities and remind us of our impact. By focusing on contribution rather than consumption, we can build a more grounded and satisfying identity. Spending time in nature can help us reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. Nature offers a break from the constant demands of the market and technology, allowing us to be present and reflective. This presence supports a more authentic and stable sense of identity. Setting boundaries is essential for protecting our identity. This might mean saying no to certain demands, limiting screen time, or prioritizing activities that align with our values. Boundaries help us maintain a sense of self in a world that constantly pushes us to consume and conform. Social pressure to conform is strong, especially in a market-driven world. By developing confidence in our own choices and values, we can resist the urge to follow every trend. This resistance is key to building a unique and authentic identity. Reflection helps us understand how we're influenced by the world around us. By regularly taking time to think about our choices, motivations, and desires, we can make adjustments that bring us closer to our true selves. Reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth and self-discovery. Every person is unique with their own strengths, interests, and stories. Celebrating individuality means embracing what makes us different, rather than trying to fit into a market-defined mold. This celebration is a source of strength and resilience in a world that often values conformity. Communities provide a sense of belonging and support that can't be bought. By participating in groups that share our values and interests, we can build a sense of identity that is rooted in real connection, not just consumption. Community is a powerful antidote to the isolation of market-driven life. Restoring meaning to our lives requires conscious effort. By choosing activities, relationships, and goals that align with our deepest values, we can rebuild a sense of purpose. This process takes time, but it leads to a more satisfying and resilient identity. The first defense against manipulation is understanding that the system was never designed for your benefit. By recognizing this, we can approach the world with greater skepticism and awareness. This understanding empowers us to make choices that serve our true interests, not just those of the market. In a world where identity is often for sale, reclaiming our sense of self is both a challenge and an opportunity. By understanding the forces that shape us and making conscious choices, we can build an identity that is authentic, resilient, and deeply meaningful. The journey isn't about rejecting modern life but about living it on our own terms.